So, when we last left the party, I believe y'all had just come back from fulfilling your obligation to some very powerful people.
And none of us died.
That was an important bit. Not for lack of trying.
Not for lack of trying.
Let me rephrase that. None of us died.
Yes.
A lot of people did, in fact, die.
Funny how emphasis changes meaning, isn't it? Mm. You gave it your best shot, though.
I sure did.
We ate, shoot, shot, and we left.
We did do the panda, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So you had also just well, not quite interrogated, but you have new information on what's been going on.
Yes. And it's not fresh in my mind anymore.
So, as I remember it, the person had been kidnapped by a person named...
George Caldwell.
Yes.
I did at least write that down.
On the way home, Lester's body wakes up. He ducks down an alley to chat. They were dragged in. They were drugged in a bar and named. No, they were drugged in a bar by George Caldwell.
Body.
Yes.
They part ways, and Lester gets back to the hotel. So George Caldwell is probably one of the cult leaders that got away first.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Unless he's just a front man.
Unless he's one of the cult leaders that stuck around because he's a goon.
Yeah. Cult leader disguised as goon.
Or a goon disguised as a goon.
Random goon that's apparently very handsome.
Random, very handsome goon named George Caldwell.
Yep.
Not important at all, just a good goon.
Definitely
Keeping
not
our eyes out for handsome goons.
important.
Solid 7 out of 10 goon. Would hire.
That's for the goon temp agency?
Yeah.
That seems like a good strategy to, like, have somebody else be the face.
Well, yes, it would be a good strategy. Okay, alright, back home.
Yeah. Lester enters the hotel.
We
Where
all
is
look
it?
as if we've seen a ghost. Or something.
When we
Lester's
didn't find
dead.
Lester's corpse at the site of the explosion,
That's true.
JR was like, "Yeah, okay, he'll be fine."
He'll be
Yeah.
fine. I was going for a Lester is undead joke. And
That's fair.
I think I missed.
Nobody knows, though.
Yeah.
No.
We all know.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
We just
the important people know. The laymen don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Out of character Lester is undead joke. Just keep
Say
qualifying
yes,
this until
but
you
it's
laugh,
my
damn
plan
it.
to not reveal that to people outside the party.
I mean, plans go awry in these groups.
So they just.
all right.
That's
So,
the plans of mice and zombies.
hey Lester,
Hi.
how's it going?
Fine and dandy, I would actually say.
Oh, that's good.
Well, I didn't die.
I mean, obviously.
And wait, are we just out in the open?
Yeah.
I'm assuming I went back up to. I mean, I'd be going back up to the room.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I specifically noted that we went back to the hotel to change for our interview.
With the Epitaph Times.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing the interview. Okay.
So we're probably all upstairs.
So yeah, I'd probably go
Yeah.
upstairs to my room.
Do you have your own
Specs
room?
Actually,
We have
No.
three,
about
I
this.
thought.
They share with Specs.
He doesn't have his own
There
room.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have your
Yeah.
I have my own room
Yeah, sure.
That's right. So, okay.
for maximum hilarity.
Made sense at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably
Well, we
go
were
up to my
both
room,
Jared
Yep.
wanted the room.
take a shower.
So, when you enter, what is Specs doing?
in my room,
Yep.
examining the knife.
Hmm. Actually, have a picture of the knife that you have.
Ooh.
Oh.
Preparation.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's right. You both have different weird knives.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yours is the straighter one on the right.
Ugh. Pointy, yes. Serrated.
And triangular.
All the knives I don't.
So,
Of all the knives I don't want to be stabbed by, I don't want to be stabbed by that one the most.
yeah, no. Kind of hard agree.
And if you pass it to Lester, also, as you're looking at it, you notice that there is some sort of uncut thing in the top.
Thing.
It's ghost rock.
There's ghost rock in
Is
the
it
handle.
refined?
No.
Huh.
It's raw ghost rock. And that one has a piece of ghost rock that it appears to be held in place by, like, screws. So,
Huh.
like, and it is touched by something coming up from the handle.
So it's part of the tang, basically?
Yeah.
That's
So,
funny.
I mean, do you try and take that one out?
Sure.
It comes out. It appears as though the part of the tang
that seems
is just
deeply unpleasant.
onto it. It's just like pressed against
deeper,
it.
the more unpleasant.
Something.
I mean, even
You
just
don't
the
know
tip.
And same question, is it refined?
It is not.
Okay. I put it back.
Of all the knives, I don't want to be stabbed.
It just fits
with.
the aesthetic. I should keep it that
I
way.
don't want to be stabbed with that one the most.
I
Do you know
agree.
how bad it would be to be stabbed with that knife?
Yeah.
Surgeons,
Fuck.
especially of that era, cannot seal triangular wounds.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
They can't seal them now. either.
Yeah.
I said especially of that
yeah.
time.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was wondering
So
what
it
that
is-
was.
Sorry.
3 blades in a triangle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's
And that's in the
literally an
Civil War,
international
and
war.
now it's illegal.
it's a death sentence.
Mhm. Yeah, this is...
You stick a tampon in it.
In
What
the-
they were invented
in
for.
the Civil War. That actually makes an amount of
Shove
sense.
as much cotton in there as you can.
Yeah, tampons
Yeah.
were invented in World War I for plugging bullet wounds. It might have been before World War I.
I
But
have nothing to say.
So-
I have nothing to add here.
So I see you with
Just
that
a fact.
knife, and I'd kind
They
of
were
walk by you
co-opted
and
by
say, "Oh, that's a
nurses,
funny
and
knife.
the
I got
life
one
hack was
too."
brought back to
You
the
pull out
States
your funny knife?
after the war.
No, I gotta take a shower first. Let me do that.
Okay.
And thus an industry was born.
I
That's an industry was born.
wasn't sure that...
An important and valuable.
I'm fairly certain that this... Self-defense... This is not for self-defense. This is for straight murder. Nothing else. Why was it in the bottom of a barrel of flour?
Probably for the reason that. Did any of you guys go to the basement?
No.
No.
We were waiting outside for you to
I'm
plant
talking
them.
to him or
Yeah.
her.
I believe
No.
the proper term is there was a basement.
Well, we'd figured out that there was a down.
We
Yeah.
did, yes.
We
were
figured out there
aware
was,
that
at least connected to
We
the
figured-
sewers.
We figured out that you got to the sewers somehow.
Can't say that we did. We set the building on fire and got out of there.
Well, that's good enough for government work, so it's probably good enough for them.
Glossing over a very important.
Are you going to
detail.
mention that there's no witnesses?
No? I don't see the need to.
Well, I was gonna say we would actually want witnesses.
No, we don't. They just don't
Not to
do a lot of
us.
damage.
So, those men that were down there with you, did they have knives like this?
That's where I pull out this one.
That,
No, actually, as you can see.
So that one's much more
Look.
for
See?
rituals, occult.
How can you tell the difference?
I've seen it in books where there's usually more rites that are done with knives that are stylized like that. This is just an implement to kill a person, not to.
But all knives are meant to kill people.
Many are used for other tasks, cutting, chopping, engaging in other things where things need to be parted. This cannot be used in a kitchen.
Paddling a canoe. In the case
If you try hard enough, you can.
It would.
Yeah,
I'm not going to argue with
fair. It would be impractical.
It's good bait, bro. You almost got me.
I missed it.
Specs said that you couldn't. The only thing that the triangle knife is for killing people. You're not going to cut your vegetables with it. Monster said, you could. And I went, but it.
It would be mighty impractical.
probably be worse.
I
with a
can
knife
agree with
to
that,
cut
I guess.
vegetables with it than to stab a person with it.
Right.
So they have ritual knives, and I'm guessing the men that were. Was it just the sewers?
No,
Murder could be
the
a ritual.
sewers was connected to the basement of the building that I ran through, and they were definitely in the middle of a ritual that I interrupted.
That will explain the commotion.
Would it?
Interrupting a ritual?
All right. So while you two are there, who do what you guys want to do? Who has the cloak? So there was
Me.
Okay, that means I might know about it then.
Yeah, was Bart there? Yeah. You were
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was there, and
I-
he was there.
I think I was with you when you found the knife.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So-
hadn't
Two of
gone
us were
and
not
joined the
really.
commotion.
Right. Depending on when you found it, if you put it into a bag or something.
As we were leaving, we went and investigated an explosion.
Yes, we were.
That's where we found the rope.
together. Okay. Anything distinctive about the cloak?
It is the color of an old bruise.
Gross.
It is covered in weirdly arcane symbols.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all you get from a cursory glance.
I guess once I finish getting dressed in my fancy new suit.
Hang on, I have box text.
Oh, okay.
A robe the color of a fresh bruise lays before you, hemmed in gold thread and riddled with odd symbols and script. Anytime you look away, the shapes seem to move and rise until you look back at them. The inside is lined with velvet, ensuring the wearer is comfortable and warm in the dank underparts of the city. No maker's mark is stitched into the fabric that you can see.
I could go for some whiskey.
Oh, that's perfect.
Uh,
No, not that.
I assumed I was being ignored. That's fine.
No, I was taking the opportunity to figure out what color my suit is. It's bright orange.
Another.
Because lead chromite has been was invented only like 40 years ago.
You missed Tim's glare at your back.
Look,
It's trendy.
it's trendy. You know, just because somebody else is wearing orange doesn't mean I'm not going to wear orange. I gotta look nice.
Twinsies.
So,
Bright orange is for.
what would you
If
like to
any of
do?
you bright orange
I
people
would
want
like
to
to
borrow
rack
my
my
bright
brains
orange
to see if I
D20.
recognize any of the markings or languages.
Okay. What skill would that be?
I feel that would either be common knowledge or research.
Research, I would give you if it would take time.
Okay. And I don't have time right now.
Not at the moment, no.
Yeah, okay.
Tonight, sure.
So I'll do can I do an occult roll -2?
You can.
Screw it, right?
Might as well.
Can I assist in this role?
Why don't
Because I got a teeny tiny bit of. I think I've seen that somewhere before when I got an occult roll.
Mm-hmm. So,
Oh, you've already rolled for this road.
Yes.
Rolled for this roll.
you have?
Yes. And
Right.
what I got for my trouble was, you're pretty sure you've seen symbols like this in the Tombstone Epitaph. Actually, I think Pennyweather wrote about those. Funny who we're about to go talk to.
Yeah, weird.
That is weird.
Alright, so
Can I assist?
You don't
can.
need to. I rolled an 11 on my d6.
Well,
Make it
I have one success.
Make it 2 raises.
2 raises, and this is an occult roll?
Yes.
Alright.
Nice.
So,
See?
Yeah.
Help
you...
me.
Looking at it, you see it triggers some memory in your head. You rush your books, digging through them. You find one in your secret stash that talks about various symbols and symbolism of the occult. this is very much a symbol of blood and violence. This is the symbol of chaos. There are symbols of chaos and fear woven throughout this piece.
I don't like that.
No,
Chaos.
you do give. So with the help of Everett and saying, "Oh, I think that there was something else in the
Seems right.
tombstone epitaph," you are able. Does Everett carry a backlog, or
I have a couple issues, probably like the ones that we've collected over the course of this campaign, but I don't know if I left my hometown with a backlog.
Okay,
Because I can't read.
fair enough.
You have a couple issues.
Yes, I also have some magazines.
You aren't able to find the explicit thing, but in one of your books it does talk about the cults that appear to be cropping up all over the western side of the U.S. Some people attribute these to malevolent spirits, others attribute them to just autocultism that's been gaining favor, and even more others are attributed to Manitos. And that's what you get.
Could be nothing, could be something. Put a pin in that for later. Proper research roll. I have the time
Alright.
to go through it.
Is there anything else you want to do with the robe?
Pack it up and bring it with us when we go to our interview with the person who's written about it.
Okay.
I think.
Person who works for a
JR.
place where we've read about it.
So I'm kind of waiting out in the hallway once
really
I've got
just
my
look at
orange
the
suit
pictures.
on.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before leaving your rooms?
I reload all my guns.
Yes, I do too.
Smart.
Because that takes a lot of time.
More for me.
Were we done
No,
chatting?
it takes 3 rounds because
It takes
they're
6 rounds for me.
capping 6 rounds.
1 round per bullet because I have one hand.
1 round per round.
Unless you have a speed loader.
I do have a speed loader, but
That also takes.
that
1
takes
round per
that
round.
takes 1 round per round to load it back up. And if I've got the time, I might as well just load the bullets in.
Yep.
Keep the speed loader ready to go.
Yeah.
Do we have
My
anything
It
else
still
we want to
takes a
talk about
round
aside
to
or
use
not?
the speed
I
loader.
don't know. It was just
But that's true for me too.
basically
I
the
think.
ritual cave and the guy that I
think
talked
so.
to,
My
Yeah.
shotgun is capping
I
all.
think we could
so
say
it
we
has
which
to-
I would just probably
I
tell you
believe
about.
you also
Yeah,
got a book.
communicated that with little.
Oh yeah, I
Franco.
did also get a book. I have a book.
Wait, hang on.
Wait, this changes everything.
Read a book.
I would like to see the book.
I hand the book. They really aren't.
It's
my thing.
reading rainbow.
Books don't really can do so much about learning about stabbing.
Which book is this again?
This is the book that was grabbed from the ritual chamber.
Do I recognize the title? Is the title in a language I recognize?
Do you recognize Latin?
Vaguely, like I would recognize it if I couldn't speak it fluently.
That it is.
Not really.
Yeah. Recognize it as.
Sorry,
Yeah.
let me rephrase. Let me try that again.
Lorem
It is
ipsum dolorem.
it is unadorned.
It is
The cover.
okay. And if I crack it open, it's Latin throughout.
No, it is in English.
Oh,
I speak English.
Reading.
Would you like to read something?
Crack open random page, accidentally summon Cthulhu.
yeah,
I was
sure.
gonna
Crack it
say,
open straight to
Open
the
a
center.
random
Why
page
not?
and read out loud.
So you get the section that you read is, why should I rest when wickedness exists in the world? God's love shines on anyone who understands the limits of endurance and allows forgiveness. Chosen for the service of a higher power in the black water with the sun shining at midnight. Those fruit shall come ripe, and in the darkness of that which is golden shall split open and reveal revelation upon the fatal softness of the earth.
You know, throwing something about strangling fruit.
Well,
That is too long of a prophecy to write down and refer to.
Oh, it's not a prophecy. It's just.
Scripture.
Yep.
I've read
But
a fair
it's
few
funny.
Bibles in my time. This is possibly the most. The author certainly had intent.
What is it made of?
I stop and you go at that for a second.
It's made of book.
So, well, you're going to need
Wait, is it made out of the blood and tears of other books?
any.
Whoa.
So, are you
The
going to do
flesh
a
of other books.
Yes.
look at roll? An inspection
Oh.
roll?
Yeah, sure.
Give me a looking at books roll.
Sure. I
Of
look.
course, I don't have
Just
that.
fall out.
I only have perception.
No, you didn't.
Yes!
One spade.
Space
Well-
goes blood.
The book. So, the more you look at the book, the more it talks to you.
Oh no.
Make me a spirit roll.
Oh no.
To confirm, this isn't a fear roll.
No.
Good. Okay.
Wonderful.
Crit failed to look at book.
There we go.
Book.
2.
Okay. You don't get drawn into it.
Good.
But upon looking at it, you determine that this is the pages appear to be vellum, but you cannot confirm whether or not it is actually vellum.
Same with it's leather bound, ain't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the vellum choice like on purpose here?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're probably thinking what I'm thinking, and I'm uncomfortable with it.
I'm not smart enough to know these things.
So you remember when that spaceship's corridors were all lined with that nice leather?
What?
And then, never mind.
It's paper made out of leather.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do get that.
So it's a codex, then.
It's the seal of books.
Well,
The veal of books.
there is.
I'm worried it's long pork.
I mean, that's what I expect it to be gummed in.
Unless it's made from cryptids.
Long
Can't rule
bug.
those.
Long book. Funk.
Longer pork.
The tall man, you say?
Oh,
What if it's just regular pork?
whole new meaning for Brandon Sanderson's
No, no.
novels.
The
No,
pages
no,
are like that thick.
Ugh. They certainly have
Crackling.
Think of a
intent.
pop-up book.
I mean, they definitely had intent when they were down there.
Do you want this back, or do you mind if I hold on to it to confirm the author's intent?
To be fair, I would probably only use it for some kind of target practice.
It may very well end up that way once I'm done with it, in all honesty. So I'll just go and put it in my pack for further research later, right next to my copy of Merchant of Venice.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that we have the resident book person, not the resident book person.
The resident book people.
Yep. Not to be confused with the resident
Look.
book merchant.
Yep.
I'm not actively looking for books; they just find me.
So
That's
we've got
worse.
like
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say.
yeah.
You do see how that's worse, right?
Yes.
so we have like an interview, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Should get freshened up. So
Yes.
I mean, I'm not gonna have much else to put on, am I? I don't have better clothes than my traveling clothes.
I ain't putting on
Why-
my suit
okay.
for this.
Don't you have a
Maybe I
party
do.
dress?
No, not yet.
That's gonna be the.
It has
downtime.
not arrived yet.
Oh yeah, definitely not. They said it was gonna take days.
Alright, so,
Proceed out.
with that, I'm guessing you guys leave.
Yep.
Hold on. JR. What the fuck is this?
This is the latest fashion.
You see, You both come out.
No, I'm not in my suit.
Ah.
Because I'm saving it for the occasion.
Ah.
Yeah,
have
I
three
got this
shirts.
at the. I got this at the
That's how you know I'm a
place we
fancy
took you to.
gentleman.
I might need to talk to them later this week.
Cecily, roll me a.
I'm pretty sure I got mine before you too.
Roll me a comment. Actually, I'll roll it. High or low?
I deserve this. Hi.
Yes, you do.
It doesn't have dragons on it.
Oh, okay, so it's just bright orange.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is how I generally would prefer it, anyways.
Yes, so it is not the exact copy of what Lester has.
I'm moderately pissed. But I think I can get over it.
Well, good, because there's going to be a lot of people there with their orange clothes. I betcha. The party.
This is not helping my mood, JR. I appreciate the honesty.
I mean, haven't you seen the people walking around in orange?
No? I don't think we're in the rich enough part of town for that.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
So, about this, well, when you guys go down, the concierge behind the desk, sees you and gives you an address to a restaurant.
Alright.
Why?
Because you guys never got the restaurant from Morgan.
Oh. I mean, fair, she does know where we're staying.
Yes. Yes, she does. That's who we have.
She sure does.
Why didn't she just bring it right to us?
Probably because we were out destroying shit.
Oh, right.
No, because last time she went straight to our room, she almost died.
Also that.
Yeah.
And now we know.
It's a good deterrence. Yeah,
Great
meta
surprise.
question. I wasn't there when I met you guys last.
Yep.
So, like, can we, like, on the way over recap?
Yeah, so she's as you probably know, she's a reporter for multiple publications.
Yeah.
A bunch of suspicious white folks rolled into
And-
Asian City,
And one
matching the
suspicious Korean man.
Yeah.
matching the description of folks that have been noted to be around some strange occurrences in the past couple months.
And this other weird guy with bells on.
Oh, right, no, she was investigating you specifically.
Was she?
Yeah.
At the time, no.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
But when
Because
when
it
was-
feels more like she was investigating you guys and I just appeared.
Yeah, so like when you guys rolled into town and when you happened
what
to be at
happened.
the same restaurant as
Because what's
them.
happened since I came here? We finished the chili eating contest. we went off into fuck off nowhere and helped some guys in a break a tower down and get their land back, and then came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
There's only one other thing that's happened since then, and that's we had to beat off a pack of cougars.
You could have phrased that
Yeah, I was gonna say.
way better.
Yeah.
I was
But
gonna
why?
say worse.
Oh no,
but I don't think you could have.
Oh no, I worked
Oh,
on that.
there's worse.
off a
I
pack
don't
of
think that was
cougars.
part of that.
No,
No,
No. Okay.
that was tutorial town.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What
Where
I thought you
cougars?
guys blew up a bank and robbed it or something.
no.
We didn't rob it. It burst. It caught fire all on its own
What bank?
in
The hat
town.
shop.
Hat shop.
Oh yeah, that was a hat shop.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that. I was thinking about the
And
Yeah, because I joined right
Fire
after
in
you
one
guys
soap.
completed the heist.
Look,
Yeah,
we
heist
had
is
to
a
get
strong word.
We had to get chili for the
Okay,
chili
come
eating
on.
contest
Nice.
practice.
Oh, there was no joke.
And on the way, we burned down a racist place of business.
Wonderful.
as
you
a
do.
distraction.
As a distraction for the robbery.
And also because he's an asshole.
And also because he's an asshole.
That's what made him a good distraction.
Yeah.
So yes, you were apparently investigating some weird ass group.
A group of strange fellers just rolled in off the train from Seattle.
And they were
Trouble seems to follow them everywhere.
They were certainly talking about a lot of interesting things in a restaurant environment, and
We're so bad at information security.
OPSEC hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
and
So
so it
As
piqued
far as
your-
we know.
piqued
Well,
your interest.
It hasn't come to the masses yet.
you came to interview us.
No, so she came to rifle through our
Rifle
things.
through our... I wasn't wasn't there for the first half of that.
I didn't know about this.
So she was
Yeah.
rifling
Yeah.
through our rooms to try and figure out what was going on. When
Learn
we
more about
came
us.
home,
No.
No.
No, you
We-
discovered that things
yeah, we
were
just-
different, and Shuksa noticed a different smell.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
but
we
Shuksa
followed-
noticed.
oh, did we chase her down?
Yeah, we followed that
So
to
Shuksa
the
tracked her
hotel,
to the hotel, yeah.
That's
and
right.
then we confronted her in her room.
And halfway through that, JR came in through the window.
She rifled through our things. We tracked her with our trusty tracker,
Yay!
and then
Turns out dogs are
I-
very good at tracking.
Who knew?
No, no.
and Everett knocked the door off its hinges. Because, shockingly, you wouldn't answer the door.
No,
Couldn't imagine why.
they
She
wouldn't
wouldn't
open the door.
They answered perfectly
They were
fine.
kind of in the middle of something,
Getting
escaping.
out the window.
Until I realized, oh, we should probably go cover the window.
Let me direct Jerry a letter.
And we had what started as a very tense conversation
Which
until
one?
it was revealed that you were a writer for the Tombstone
Jerry,
Epitaph.
Jerry.
And then you suddenly started fanboying.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
And
it's a 1-point flaw.
I'm
so, on your way there, do you guys discuss anything that you've discovered, or are we compartmentalizing everything?
We are compartmentalizing the explosion
Yes,
that just
'cause-
recently
'cause you know what I
happened.
don't want to do is
Oh,
have
I'm more
this
talking
conversation
about
in
the
the open.
knives.
That is
cloak.
We're also not talking about that in the middle of the street.
Okay.
Alright, fine.
It's so good when it happens back to you, isn't it?
That will happen after we're done with this. When I'm back in my room working on a project.
So when you guys come up to a restaurant,
Is it a karaoke bar?
No. It is lit with electric lights. It appears to be not the highest end, but of decent quality. And when you enter, the
I am.
person behind
Thank
the person behind the desk looks you over, sees Lester, and goes, "Ah," and gestures you on. Morgan.
Checks out.
So at this point, you see the rest of the group kind of come into the door, and the person behind the desk, who you know as Shin, you're on good terms with the staff here. Shin gestures them forward to your table.
Awesome. I'm gonna say I already have like a pot of coffee on the table and the
Okay.
little cups ready
Mhm.
to go. I stand and greet them.
Oh, hello.
Good afternoon. It's nice to see
Is
you
it
under.
afternoon or evening?
It's evening.
Okay.
Hello again.
Good morning!
Evening,
Wait.
ma'am?
Evening and coffee.
Oh, I don't have my hat on anymore. I'm a
Writers.
polite gentleman.
I always have my hat on.
I got my bowler hat on.
And I've
King
got a
of
dirty.
Tangle.
Everett is a polite
Where's it, bowler?
businessman.
Yeah, well,
Evening,
JR
ma'am.
is not.
Polite or a businessman?
Yes.
Yes.
I hope your day has been at least half as entertaining as ours.
Not dirty, sorry. No.
Wait, no,
That'd
less,
be pretty entertaining.
less than half as entertaining as ours, probably.
I did.
Wait, was that entertaining?
I was very entertained.
I'm trying out euphemism.
It's one of them European words.
It's one of the European words I picked up off Bart.
Oh! Hey,
you
wait!
mean
I know another one of
euphemism?
those. It's
Huh.
called subtlety.
That's not
I haven't heard that one.
Openly. No matter how I try.
No. Subtlety and euphemisms are separate. You see, a euphemism is when, you say one thing and you mean another thing.
Oh, so lying?
I guess.
Kind of.
I guess Freud has.
See, now I thought that there was called
No,
a
it hasn't
metaphor.
been invented.
Shit.
I missed that. What was that?
Perfect every time.
I react. JR said it's when you say one thing and mean another. Lester reacted, and then Everett said, I thought that there was a metaphor.
Ah,
And then JR, with less than perfect mastery of English, went, shit.
fair enough.
A euphemism is a type of metaphor.
Yeah.
That's not funny or interesting.
No,
All right, so
if I'd made
That is the joke, yes.
a server comes by as you all are seated and takes your orders.
What kind of restaurant
I
is it?
have four languages.
This
of
appears
D6.
to be Central American, actually.
Central America.
I mean, I spent one of my
So they
starting
probably
edges.
have chili.
I spent one of my starting edges on
They
getting
probably
3 extra
do have a
languages.
bean and tomato stew.
I mean, for,
Definitely something with corn in it.
in terms of like how many skill
Ooh,
points you
sweet
got
corn.
for it, it was
Yeah,
like
no, Specs is going to get
6
something.
skill points
I would
effectively.
order their strongest tequila.
Okay.
Probably be mezcal. Tequila hasn't been
it gave
established.
you
In
3
point
languages
note,
at
Ashton,
D6.
you have offered to pay for all the drinks.
That's cool.
That's gonna
At
be
least
regrettable.
when I went on the shopping that you said I could go on, I made sure to save a lot of money.
Mhm.
Good. Not because of this, just having money in general was good.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this wouldn't hurt you.
When we started the campaign, Everett had like $7 left.
So what are you getting to eat?
I'm gonna get
There is a lot of things on there.
I asked for their hottest chili.
Okay.
I will get the meatiest meat dish along with my strongest tequila or strongest alcohol.
All right.
just moonshine made from corn.
This is a restaurant.
Good old
It's
whiskey.
higher quality than that.
Nobody has read the menu to Everett, so he turns to the server and says, whatever you recommend.
Specs would get a sweet corn bread and some chili.
Okay.
Bart would order something that he doesn't recognize.
In the most broken Spanish you can.
Yeah, exactly. Trying and doing well enough that it's embarrassing, but doesn't actually know it.
I honestly,
El Polo
Yeah.
Cali.
Roja. Raja. Roger.
Con jalapenos.
Jalapenos. Excellent.
jalapenos.
Is that a car?
That was just an old driving around falling apart car.
I love Pintos. All right. And
Taquitos de lengua.
Trying.
cool. All right. So the
Disappeared.
server leaves, giving you guys some space.
Did you just order lengua?
Yeah,
That sounds delicious.
it is.
I know.
I'm honestly not a huge fan.
It's my favorite cut of beef. It really is.
I
don't
mean,
the
like,
texture.
it's going to be like party, but not like overly filling. Given that, I mean, Morgan's planning on going to the party later, and
Is the party
So-
today?
No, the
No.
party is a week from now.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's still gonna be like
Yeah.
not that expensive, and
So
know.
you guys
Good.
will have downtime to
Yeah.
pursue.
Make hats.
make
I
hats,
thought
pursue
it was
Speaking of
the
which,
yet
I
the
would
same
want a hat,
day.
but I'll talk
No,
to you during that downtime.
Well, I need to make hats to pay for my suit.
All right. So, what are some questions that Morgan has for the group?
So I didn't know that I was interviewing them. So I
Fair enough.
that feels like that would have been useful to know.
I thought I told you. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm like, as soon as you said that you're going to go to an interview, I was like, aha, this clearly slipped your mind.
Yeah.
well, actually, this works. What questions do you want to know about the campaign so far?
yeah,
In a group.
Brilliant, Steve.
yeah.
As
so-
intended.
Nailed it, Gil.
Or the individual characters' backstories. See if
Yeah.
you can read
Yeah.
any information out of them.
Yeah, that. But I'm actually going to start with like an older rumor about you guys and get the story behind that. What older rumor would I have heard about that I'm going to ask more about?
As a group or individuals? Because those are going to be different answers.
Yeah.
Was there, like, you guys said that there might have been somebody I was interested in first?
Mr. Death Mask and Jingly Hat.
And
Yeah.
spontaneous cackling.
He
Yes.
bears a striking resemblance to an enforcer from one of the gangs up in Portland,
To
Okay.
who has recently, well,
Gone
as of the
missing.
past few weeks, disappeared.
also the rest of the group is aware of this, but if I laugh randomly, my own character's also laughing,
Mm-hmm.
Anytime Tim laughs in real life, his character laughs in the game.
regardless of
You
who.
laugh in the game, you laugh in real
JR.
life.
Especially if it doesn't make sense in the game.
Exactly.
That's how
JR
you represented it
is
to me
also
originally.
probably somebody you might recognize.
Yeah.
Are you into fine hats?
Also, if we're talking about like I have a wanted poster or something like that, I would look the exact same as the wanted poster.
I have it. It's all
The
around my
difference
neck.
is Morgan might have also heard that I died.
Yes. So I'm saying that Morgan has heard that Lester the Jester has disappeared, possibly
I
gone
don't
to
know, put that
ground.
together.
Not necessarily that you died.
Let's do the best.
Rumors of your death are greatly exaggerated.
No, they're not. They're not.
No,
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. They're very exaggerated. I'm
Wait,
alive, aren't I?
wait.
Aren't you?
Are they telling a reporter?
No.
Yeah. So that's, when are we back in character?
So
just making
as
sure.
far, as, far as,
Character.
as far as rumors you may have heard, is Morgan Pennyfeather into fine hats?
I'm gonna say, while Morgan doesn't necessarily do a ton of writing under her name about fashion, she does have a soft spot for it and does occasionally do some ghostwriting for fashion pieces. So, like, yes, and can speak intelligently on the subject, not like top 5 topics.
So you might have heard.
I thought everybody
Yeah.
heard.
So you might have heard of Cornelius hats.
Roll me a common knowledge roll.
Me?
Yes.
Look at you,
Which
rolling
one?
dice.
If you don't have it on your sheet, then it would be a D4,
I mean,
a
you
D6.
did.
Everybody
I do.
Yeah, it's a starter.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So it's a D4 and a
Um,
D6.
I
Or
think I have
unless
a
you put
D8
points
on
into it.
Nice.
Oh, look at you. We have
Some.
somebody who has common knowledge.
Well, that
That's
can't
kind of my
stand.
job to know things. That and take portraits.
And a D6.
And
And a
a
D6.
And a D6. Okay.
Always a D6.
Okay.
Wild card. That's one success.
I
One
have
success.
a total of 7.
So they're separate.
Okay.
Every 4 on a single die
Is a success.
is a success. So
Okay.
8 is 2 successes.
And then you get to re-roll it.
Yeah.
So if you
Well,
get the maximum
no.
amount...
Yeah,
we'll,
if you
we'll cover that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Wait,
you max
that-
out a die,
that's
tell
with
us.
the dice exploding thing.
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
So-
alright. I'm
so
learning.
Any multiples of 4 are more successes.
Okay.
But you only get the total of a single die.
Yep.
So if you get a 6, you get to roll it again, and so on and so forth. Adjust on the d6. If you get an 8 on the d8, you get to re-roll that, and so on and so forth. But you don't count both the d8 and the d6.
So you have heard of Cornelius Hats.
I have heard of Cornelius Hats.
Look at that! Your common knowledge.
My father is a very famous hat maker.
I
Not
wouldn't
that you
know
guys know that.
that.
Nope.
Hold on.
Everett says to himself out loud. My father is a very famous hat maker. Not that any of you would know that. Wait.
You're right. I might not know that. Let me check. No, I don't think you made this.
Meta question: was this interview meant to be like a profile piece to kind of
Yeah, I guess.
thematically go with my like profiles of people out west?
I believe it was, yes.
Okay.
It was... This is a traveling band of weirdos that piqued your interest. So you went and tried to dig into their past, see what made them tick. They realized that you did this, came up to you
Without our
and...
consent.
Yes, came up to you and went, hey, what the fuck? And the best way you could figure out to get them to not kill you, or at least damage you at the time, was to go, let's make this official. I'll pay for your meals.
Don't hurt me.
basically.
You may have heard of us almost burning down the town of Lost Hope.
Yeah. Or
You
being
may or may
involved
not
in
have
that
heard of what
situation.
we were actually doing there.
We didn't almost burn down Lost Hope.
Well,
So that is actually something that you have heard about, given
Yeah,
your
alright.
connections through the tombstone epitaph.
All right.
Oh.
There was a.
What's the story that I heard? And I'm gonna ask them about like key details because I think that the reality would have been different.
There was a town up in the north of Washington, kind of very scrolled away in the Cascades, and
Was is doing a lot of lifting there.
Hmm?
Was is doing.
oh,
a
it's
lot.
it's still there.
Still there.
Mostly.
So
Like Chicago was still there.
No, way more still there.
No, like Detroit was still there.
it has become human.
More like how Montpelier's still there. It's not quite the same, but
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
over
That's
the course
actually a good
of a
comparison.
week, there were numerous strange murders. The local sheriff chose to pin it on cougar attacks, but eyewitnesses say that there was something different. Notably, the blacksmith was killed, and a couple of other people were killed over the course of that week.
restaurateur, if I'm not mistaken.
One building was burned down. A
The
restaurant.
restaurateur was also killed, if I'm not mistaken.
And it was an unfortunate accident, and there were some people who had just blown into town that the marshal or the sheriff credits with a lot of aid in the saving of the town.
Oh, look at you guys.
We, for a brief moment, we were heroes.
we were.
Wait,
How
we
did
were
that fire
what?
start?
Now we're just protagonists.
Lamp fell over in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Fell into oil.
It wasn't actually our fault.
No.
No.
Nope.
We did not burn that building down. So I did run through the fire again.
We did what we could to contain that fire, in fact.
Yeah.
But the way that stories get told.
There were also some explosions.
Exactly.
Those were us.
Yes.
Those were further down the road.
Oh my
Look,
gosh, that famous
I
moment.
told you that the
How long is
werecougar
left on the dynamite?
wouldn't be killed
true.
by setting a pile of dynamite on the ground
Anyways.
and dressing it in a corpse.
Anyways,
Suggested it in
so rumors you've heard about the party would be we vaguely matched the descriptions of people who were credited in saving a town in the North Cascades from a plague of cougars. Lester's bears a striking resemblance to a missing enforcer.
Dead.
And
If you're into hats specifically, but fashion in general, you may have heard of Cornelius hat makers, specifically Cornelius and Sons hat makers.
and you may have seen a bounty for someone who looks relatively like JR but has 2 arms.
Couldn't be him.
Notably on the poster it says, does have 2
They're really sure about that.
Much like a starfish.
He ripped it off in self-defense. I can't possibly be that, Sheriff. I have 1 arm.
Bart works to not stand out in general. It's a shame that I've been stuck with such distinctive and interesting folk.
I've heard anything about Specs,
Mm-hmm.
aside from what they have done with the party.
Alright.
Would they have heard anything about our diversion into Eastern Portland or Eastern Oregon?
Yes. There
So
was
rumors
a
have traveled
rash
about
of
that.
strange fires, and, the winner of the chili eating contest did get a picture in the paper.
Yeah,
That's true.
I did with the chili eating contest.
I'm in Eastern Oregon. When we went.
Ah, no, that was far enough into...
Patchwork man.
Yeah.
That was far enough away that no one has really heard of that.
That's also recent enough that, probably wouldn't have gotten to any
Well, that
telegram service.
I don't think that
We would have
family would
arrived.
really want to
Yeah.
make that.
Advertise
Mm-hmm.
With that.
Nobody's gonna want to advertise that. No. I mean, it will hurt property values.
Ah, yes.
It'll hurt
giant
the-
tower that consumes light.
Property
And the
values
family
will
that
plummet.
was like totally okay with feeding other people to it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it wasn't their bones.
Yeah.
All right.
So yes, those are the rumors that you know.
Yeah, so I think just recapping all of that would probably take a fair minute. I'm mostly going to be asking, like, I've heard about this. I heard that you guys were involved in this. What was your experience there?
Roll me a persuasion roll.
All right.
With Last Hope.
With any of them?
Pick
I'm
a room.
basically just going to go with...
Pick a
Persuasion
rumor,
should be a
any
skill.
rumor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the rumors you have to go on are what little you've heard about the town of Lost Hope,
So I roll a
Lester's
D8
backstory,
and a D6.
and Cornelius and
if I
Sons
have
Hat
an
Makers
eight.
comes
Yep,
to mind
persuasion.
when I introduce
Okay.
myself as Cornelius.
Wait, if I put a 3 in persuasion, is it no longer an 8?
No, it isn't 8.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's 3. You put 3
Points.
points of it.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
2 ones.
2 ones.
Yeah.
We don't
I am-
realize you.
Well, we can't
I've-
use bennies on this.
No.
So can we go back to voting on what happens on crit fails?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because my proposal is that we don't even realize that she's asking us about the town of Lost Hope.
Okay.
What is she asking? What do we think she's asking about instead?
For us to tell her about stuff.
I don't know.
All right, we think she's asking us about our activities in Portland. Specifically, the ones about blowing the building up.
Things catching
She's
on
asking
fire.
us about the
Our
Cougar
clandestine
incident, but we think she's asking us about the Stagecoach heist and
Yeah.
the blowing up of the hat shop.
And the shooting of the sheriff.
They
That's
get
a good one.
very cagey.
I move to a different topic.
Fantastic.
Was not us. Could not have been us. There is no proof that it was us.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was asleep in my bed on the
I was
other
shopping
side
for
of town.
I was shopping for chili with my good friend over here. We were seen by everybody.
I'm really confused because I don't know what you guys are talking about at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know how I want the chili
Well,
to
we
cut?
hadn't
We had
met
to
you then.
practice.
I remember that.
I had to practice for the chili to cut us. We had to go shopping for chili.
Mm.
So we bought some chili, the makers for chili, and Specs made a delicious and very spicy chili for me to practice my chili eating.
that I loved very much and just could not put down.
And I slept in that day, and then later went and visited the local artificer.
Yeah.
It's plural.
Yeah.
Cool.
I choose to believe you guys. I don't like specifically say that. I just like give the appearance of very
Writes notes. These people are
So
crazy.
if you were asking
Uh-huh.
about the town of Lost Hope, you're going to be very confused. Because Lost Hope does not have artificers or chili eating contests.
I know, but I can tell that like I've hit a nerve, so I don't ask about it further.
So by now, your meals have come.
Yum.
How spicy is the chili?
Can I get my second round of drinks?
Hmm?
Can I get my second round of drinks?
I like that you're ordering multiple drinks at a time. This is before the
Yes,
Department
you
of Liquor
can.
Control.
A round for the table. It arrives. Oh, those aren't for you guys.
A pitcher of tequila, please.
No, you misunderstand me. Around as the table.
Round
Keep
So
some
your meals are very good.
Wonderful.
If you guys have any ailments, heal 1 level.
Cool.
I'm good.
I don't think I do. Wait,
I don't think
unless
I
it
do.
heals my arm.
Does it heal me being
I
suspicious?
thought you were damaged at one point recently.
Specs, sure.
Oh, yes, I was.
You do
Okay.
have a mark.
Haha.
your stump gets
Actually,
a little
roll me
bit
a
more.
healing check.
Oh,
Nothing.
okay.
Makes sense.
Is that
Vigor?
vigor? Is
Have
that
vigor as well.
Yeah.
okay?
I
Actually, no,
didn't take
there
care
is-
of it there.
There is a healing skill, I think.
No, I did. I
Oh,
used
but a
snake
healing
oil.
check needs to be for anyone, I would assume.
I'll give you a bigger roll.
Okay.
First Benny of the session.
Yeah. This chili needs to be good.
doing that.
Yay, I got a success.
Okay. Yes, you will.
Yay.
We haven't been doing that much rolling.
No. Not yet.
I'm also drinking tequila,
Of course.
by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at about half
This
the pace.
this
of
stuff's
Lester.
pretty damn good.
It is. It very much is.
Yes, it is. Very good.
Lester can hold his drink.
Oh, yeah.
But can Bart?
I don't know. Can Bart?
Not at the levels that Lester can.
For your
Like a
context,
sieve.
I actually like walk around with bleach basically in my
Hold it like a sieve. Mine
like
a
in my
sieve.
pack.
It's the best one.
Is
What was that from?
that
It's just a
detectable?
thing.
It was
Oh yeah,
It is.
like I would bring it out and say this
don't
is the
remember when we
finest
saw it,
moonshine
though.
I've ever had, and you would just smell it. It'd be bleach.
Yeah, but like from your bag. Can
Make
people
me
tell?
a... Make me a notice roll.
A notice
Yeah,
roll?
go ahead.
Notice.
Oh jeez. Okay.
Probably with a success on a notes roll, people could notice.
The smell.
Yeah.
Minus 2.
-2.
-2. All
Yes.
right.
-2 for what?
Notice.
But why?
Because there's smells around
Okay.
there.
Just a
Fragrant
Fruited.
food just arrived.
There's a stopper on
All
the
right.
gin.
So the
Hey,
D6.
so you have exploded.
Yep, so you
Yeah.
Roll it
roll the
again.
6.
Wait. I just add more.
Oh yeah, that works. So you 10 minus
10.
2, 2 successes.
That's a raise.
All right, you definitely detect an odd smell emanating from Lester, and actually, Lester smells like dying meat. Smells like
Roadkill.
Huh? Do you have my skills?
nope. What do you mean?
Although you did succeed a notice roll, which
Yeah.
I think is
With a
the most
raise.
check anyway.
And so like so Lester smells of alcohol like strongly, and but underneath that there is an odd smell of putrescence.
So we're talking like roadkill, but you're coming across it like a day or two
Mm-hmm.
past when
Yeah.
you want to pick it up.
Yep.
These are just interesting details for a profile piece.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to ask him about his background now. He's got rumors.
I do ask him about his background.
I do not want to answer those questions.
Then I just let him get back to drinking. I'm going to ask about the hats because that is the thing that people are definitely free about talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm going to try and build some rapport.
so there is a company in not Seattle, but the next largest town to Seattle, where in the other direction towards the Cascades. So
I think that's
it
right.
doesn't have this name yet, but potentially Everett, Washington.
Thinking Everett, actually.
Yeah. Roundabouts. In this town, the next largest town outside of Seattle, there is a well-known haberdasher, Cornelius and Sons, that makes some of the finest hats available on the West Coast. I have introduced myself as Cornelius Everett, and I have a nice hat.
Yeah, so I do ask about the hats.
Oh, I'm a traveling hat maker.
That's very cool.
Yes, I've recently taken my skills on the road after meeting these fine folks up in the Cascades, and honestly, having seen how shoddy the hats that pass for
Passable.
sellable in much of the region, I figured the people needed me more than I needed stability. So on the road we went.
I ask about some
Didn't
of
I make you
the,
a hat?
Yes, you did.
I ask
came
about
out
some of
pretty
the
good. It came out
interesting
really
hat clients that you've encountered.
Well, since starting the traveling hat business, honestly, not Not too terribly interesting of clientele. Present company excluded. But there's this fantastic tailor that I'm going to be doing an exchange with in a couple days for an exquisite new suit. So they'll be carrying a few of my originals soon. That's probably the most interesting customer I've had. To me. It's not interesting like in terms of a paper, but in terms of my business, it's interesting.
We're in a capitalist society, so I would say new competition could actually be paper-worthy.
But I'm also traveling. I'm not setting up a shop.
Fair, but that means they could get the word out. If you see this person.
That's true.
Yeah. That definitely, at this point, is going to feature pretty heavily in this profile. Because it was the safe topic. It's like, we've got... We're also going to move into other safe topics after the hats, such as books, because we've got at least 2 readers.
What do you like to read, Morgan?
I do tend to read a lot of nonfiction and poetry.
Fun. Good stuff.
Yeah. But I also do I do read a lot of my colleagues' work because I do.
It comes with the.
It comes with the territory.
Your colleagues at the Epitaph?
The Epitaph is one of my regular papers, but I am actually an independent reporter and get published in a few different papers. You might have actually read more under collectively. You might have read my work more under other names than myself because I tend to take on contract work for other reporters.
Like what name? Oh, like other reporters?
Other reporters, yeah.
So-
Ghostwriting is a pretty common practice in our industry, so I'll do whole sections and a lot of research for other reporters.
So there isn't ghosts involved in ghostwriting?
Only if we're writing about ghosts.
Only for the Epitaph.
Yeah.
How often do you write about ghosts?
More frequently for the Epitaph, although one time for National Geographic we did do a profile on Dia de los Muertos, and that was interesting. There was some ghost stories involved there.
Have you ever heard of a dark tower that is surrounded by ghosts?
Specs is looking at you
What?
very pointedly.
What role do I make, GM, if I know this?
Occult.
Occult, okay.
So if it's not on your list, then you would do a D4 and have a
It
minus
is
2.
on my list. I have a D8 for it.
Nice. Damn.
Yeah, they write for the Epitaph.
Exactly.
A D8 and a D6.
Yeah, mostly because the Epitaph will publish.
For tact.
This is a meta comment. This is something that if
Oh.
you guys have common knowledge and you think
Nice
about
catch.
it, the Epitaph
know
is
if
more
that's
likely to
technically.
publish work by a mestize than many other papers who
Mm-hmm.
exclusively publish white people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That does make sense.
we haven't discussed it, but the even semi-observant amongst you will know.
Yeah. JR probably picks up on that.
Okay, so I've got a 1 on the D8, but I got a 6 on the D6.
Re-roll the D, or roll the D6.
Slow.
Get
Okay.
another 6?
So the 1 doesn't count.
Doesn't matter.
Alright, so I got a 5 and a 6 on the D6.
So that's a raise.
So a total of 11.
It doesn't make it to 12, so it's not 2 raises. It's only 1 raise.
1 raise.
Success
Alright.
and a raise.
So you have. There were some rumors coming out of Portland that some weird property was sold to a small farming family.
Were we the first ones that family tried to get to help?
Definitely
No.
not.
No.
No.
Exactly.
Notably, there was an odd structure already on the land when it was purchased. And while no one can corroborate this, a lot of the family seems to need help to clear whatever that tower was. not many people were heard back. So, like, there is only scant rumors on this, but what few scant rumors you have indicate, yes, you do know about such a tower.
Okay.
And the, I have it written down. And the Hastings family.
Not Hastings.
That's Hastings.
Interesting.
I have heard about this tower, and I
Lion
do
was
confirm
persuasion,
to
right?
the people I'm
Yes.
speaking with what I've heard about it.
Yeah. There was a tower like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Jennifer talks occasionally, so
The coin toss came up tactful.
Yeah.
Damn.
Just outright saying we were there. I was gonna be responsible.
yeah. But you see, you got us into this interview. I thought we were talking about like the stuff that is not
Yeah. So for
that is above board, and because we're good about that. We don't do crimes.
No.
Not a single one.
but we absolutely
So we helped this guy and his
fought
fam.
some ghosts.
Yeah, we fought some ghosts.
So it turns out that tower is real.
Yep.
We've been there.
And he
the
was recruiting
ghosts,
people and getting
man.
them killed, and they were becoming ghosts.
There were so many ghosts.
And we had to help the ghosts go to,
They wanted us to burn
Be
their
laid to
bodies.
rest.
Another tequila.
They wanted to burn what?
They wanted us to burn their bodies.
yeah,
Can I
because
get
they
one of
needed
those?
to be,
Spirits
they
to
needed,
be freed.
they needed to be able to go
Here,
on
have
to
one of
their final rest.
Finish this one first. See what you think.
Now I'm pretty sure their spirits were bound by some kind of
I mean, there was the
Ritual.
thing in the tower, right?
right and
They
all
were
the
killed.
equipment.
Yeah,
And
basically
he had all their bodies.
Yeah, there's this weird dude.
All right.
Do we have?
Wait.
Hold on. Do we have any of the golden eagles left?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh.
You also okay.
Because
Did anyone bring the mask? Probably not.
Oh, one
No.
of us has to have.
Def. Wait, who would
Someone
be holding
has
onto
it.
the mask?
Did,
you
Did
didn't put
Lester
that
break the
codex
mask?
next to it, did you?
No.
Good.
No.
It's in my bag.
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So then no, we
I
didn't
want to
bring the
roll
mask.
performance to start to participate in this, but make it so over the top that Morgan stops believing in.
Okay.
May I help with that performance?
Do you want to do this separately, or do you want to like actually communicate?
I
You-
want to
you-
throw. I want to.
Yes, but it
For
would be two different
flavor,
rolls.
Yeah,
Rolls.
that's
For-
it's
Oh,
not
okay.
an assisted roll. That's fine.
Backpedaling slightly for flavor.
Oh,
My
no.
character started this conversation kind of slyly, like, "While we
Yeah.
were on the road, we heard from this.
Heard tell of.
We heard about this Hastings families who were luring
Deliberate
people to their claim, where there was this dark tower where some kind of ritual sacrifice was being done, trapping ghosts in the forest around. And the people who told me about it, and then JR starts talking
absolutely
about
fucking goes-
how we were there, and then Everett drops
Once you ask
all
for us,
pretext and says, "Oh, okay." So when I said we heard about, I mean we were there.
And then this is when
And
Bart
we
jumps
jump in and we start
Yeah.
doing a stage play of what happened.
And it was, and it yeah. All right, that's a success for
And
me.
which one of you can quote the Merchant of Venice?
Me.
Not me. I mean, maybe.
I got a raise.
Cool.
I think this is an opposed roll of
You-
some kind.
JR's like, but
And
Bert,
take my
you were
arcane
frozen
book
with
and my
fear on the
ritual
stairs. You didn't see any of it.
Wait.
No, but I can
What?
hear.
You at least took my arcane book.
Yes, I have the
Okay.
arcane book. You have the ritual knife still.
Okay.
I
still
even
do.
got a success for the
Gil, is
deception
this an
to
opposed
be
roll?
like,
Do I
"We
roll to
heard
figure
about
out what is
this."
the bullshit portion?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
What would be a good roll for that?
Like, I'm just
Oh, I
sitting
know what it
here
would be,
listening to
Paige.
it.
Yeah. No,
I
what
feel
what
like-
would you think your bullshit detector would be?
There's a part of me that wants to say either...
Beat our raises. Beat our successes.
Either a cult or notice. And I want to go with notice.
I'm gonna say notice.
Yeah,
Alright.
that seems more
Notice.
likely.
Let's see.
Well, also, Specs is trying desperately to disappear into her chili.
Tequila's not helping as much as you want it to. Is
Not fast enough.
No.
Okay.
I'm working at the speed of
Okay,
digestion.
so that is a
Such a shame.
D10 and a D6.
A
Would
D10.
anybody like apple cobbler?
Yes, because I'm a reporter. Notice is like the main skill.
Yes.
Yes, I would.
What is it to make
Well-made
from?
character, I'm afraid.
Is it gluten that you can't have?
All right, I've got a 7 and a 2.
Because it's a.
That's
Alright,
a
so
single
7 is a single success.
You can use a Benny to re-roll if you want.
All right.
On a D10.
A 7 on a D10, I think is going to be
But
like.
it's, well, that just gives them a single success instead of a raise.
Yeah, but you guys are saying so much bullshit.
We're not saying any bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't know
no,
what
And
you're
that's the
talking
problem.
Collectively, there's so much bullshit.
This is a tale that's like so
I feel like
hard to believe.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
all
like
bullshit. to a
given
certain
that
degree.
this is going to be like a profile that I'm going to embellish anyway.
Once the two of them start
What did you roll?
start
Like
bullshitting,
me, I got a raise for performance.
I'm
And I
going to
will.
actually leave it where it is.
So at this point,
JR pulls out one of the fucking
golden
gold
eagles that's
Yeah,
pierced.
yeah.
So Lester is climbing up on the table, recounting this whole thing. Like,
See, this is another reason to go for taquitos, is because they like easy to keep out of the line of fire.
Yeah.
yeah, no, Lester has climbed up on the table and is recounting this with grand gestures.
How drunk does he seem?
Lester?
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
Like a normal amount of drunk?
Or a
not
normal amount
drunk?
of Lester.
Like, yeah, normal amount of Lester.
No, so no
Those are the
difference
same-
even
So,
after the.
so
the-
like,
No.
a resting buzz.
yeah,
So, to you guys, this is normal.
right.
To you, the liquor seems to be hitting him harder than
And that was my question.
Yeah, no, he's out there. He is acting everything out. His mask is just this.
And I went stab, and then he grabbed me and hugged me, and I
Yeah,
kept
and
stabbing him.
the bells on his hat are just jangling everywhere, drawing everyone in the everyone in the restaurant's eye.
And that just makes me
I
get
nod at
louder.
Shin, so that way Shin knows I'm going to pay for the laundry too, for the tablecloth.
Yep.
Very thoughtful of you.
And the last handful of shamblers, they were still up in the cage, and it was like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm just imagining Spence
I've been taking
taking a
notes.
shot of chili. Maybe I can get the last little bit of tequila out the bottom.
I've just been taking notes on this story. Like it has been entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, so
Performance with a raise.
yeah, no, it's wildly entertaining. So is there any
Question.
other things that?
Do other patrons tip the storyteller?
Ooh.
That's a very good question.
Because at this point, he is
We're
now
finding
entertaining the entire restaurant.
We're trying to figure out if you get tipped. Two tables kind of flip you a quarter each, so you have an additional 50 cents.
Yeah, I catch those.
We catch
No,
those.
even better, I flip my hat to catch them in my hat and put it back on.
There we
That's
go.
awesome.
I'll allow it.
I wanted you to make a roll agility. Get to keep the coins regardless, but
Yeah.
Since I'm on good terms with Shin, does like Shin like share my appreciation for how entertaining Lester is?
Oh yeah, no. In like in the best way, in like the most surreptitious way possible, you can tell that he is very much buzzing around your table a lot.
overhearing as much as possible.
That and like yeah.
So, I don't know what the discrepancy between raises and a single.
No, thank you.
I'm gonna need to lean on Gil for the discrepancy between raises to make it sound like bullshit and a single success to try and cut through the bullshit. The actual tale is that we were hired by the Hastings to help them with a
that'd
ghost
be great.
problem out in their claim, because nobody else would take them seriously that their claim was haunted, and they weren't able to sleep or grow crops or anything. So we headed out with them. On the way in the woods, we were besieged by ghosts.
I shot a couple.
It didn't work.
No, they did on one.
My gun worked.
That's right.
Yeah, your gun does work on ghosts.
But we were.
Now my bullets do too. Now.
I believe my character specifically was able to parlay with the ghosts and determine.
Jared was as well.
Yeah. Some of us were able to parlay with the ghosts and determine that the ghosts weren't actually mad at us. They were mad at the Hastings who had hired us because they had all also come to this place to try and help the Hastings and been led to their deaths.
Oh yeah, the ghosts weren't our enemy.
Nope.
Yeah. So
I felt bad for shooting that guy.
we continue on to the Hastings claim with the Hastings now as our prisoners. And we come to this dark tower that should not be architecturally possible, and yet it still stands. And then
Or I was waving to
we
you.
storm the castle, which is full of all kinds of alchemical and weird science goodies, until we get to the top floor, where we battled a patchwork man
Frankenstein's monster.
and his army of zombies.
I missed that session, so Bart was paralyzed with fear at the bottom of the stairs.
And the zombies turned out to have been made from the bodies of the ghosts. So in the end, after killing all the zombies, we burned their bodies to release the ghosts. And between that and killing the Patchwork Man, that probably cleansed the Hastings claim, and I think we let them go.
Yep. And it's
Yeah.
Yes, please.
and we definitely suffered no ill experiences from taking the gold from the Patchwork Man's body.
I mean, we haven't.
No.
Not yet. I mean, what?
Being haunted by Lester isn't a full effect of the curse there.
Proposal. I would say that of the bullshit provided into the story, only 50% of it gets detected. Because I did get a success.
Yes.
Right.
But not a match.
So the story that you get out of this is a bit wilder than what happened. Lester played a lot bigger part in it, which is impressive because Lester was the one who ultimately took down the monster. But he definitely swooped in and saved at least 2 people's lives.
I'm just gonna write what I heard as is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
it was already going to be embellished, and now what do you know?
Like, that work's been done for me.
Yeah. Definitely spun a yarn on that
It's
one.
going in the epitaph. It doesn't need to be believable.
Like, sometimes you just have to have an article that's ready to go for when they want to fill space.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, profiles are entertaining.
I swear to God, if Lester the Jester becomes an important part of the Tombstone epitaph, I'm gonna be so happy.
Lester's adventures and the rest of everybody else.
Oh, my God. It's going to be...
Lester the Jester's Adventure?
It'll be like,
Classic.
what's it called? Where Arthur Conan Doyle writes, like, serialized accounts of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Like, at some point,
Just
people
in
are
the
just,
newspaper,
like,
yeah.
writing into the epitaph, like, can we hear more about Lester?
Yes! This is exactly what's going to happen.
And then Morgan's gonna get a telegram to this effect and go like, oh, for fuck's sake. I wanted to write about, like, interesting cultural stuff.
Specs is always somehow the damsel in distress.
By the
and,
way, I wanted to ask, is your character's name supposed to be a One Piece reference or no?
No.
Ask this guy.
yeah.
No?
No.
Really? You didn't think of Big News Morgan?
So,
No.
Not consciously.
Yep.
Tim, Morgan Pennyfeather is not even their real name.
Egads.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
no.
meta knowledge. You
That's
guys
just-
don't get
Not
to.
allowed to be surprised
pseudonym
by
they
that.
use for the. That's just the pseudonym they use for the Tombstone epitaph.
It's the pseudonym that they use for all of their writing. Because people are racist and will not publish their, like, real name. Or read it.
Jeez, using a fake name. Who would do that?
Yeah, who would do such a thing?
Like, Morgan
Go on the
Pennyfeather sounds like a
newspaper and
respectable
lie.
white name.
Very English.
All right. So, do we wind the meeting to a close?
Do
or-
either of you want ice cream?
Oh, that'd be great, yeah.
I think we
Thank
probably
you.
wind the meeting to a close.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounded
Yeah, we
like
finished that.
very good rapport building.
Mm-hmm.
So, As dinner is winding to a close, assuming actually I don't think you have any more rumors to pull on.
Yeah, I've asked you about all of your rumors. And
Yes,
gotten
all of
a
them.
variety of
So another question
Answers.
would be: have you gotten to see any maze dragons yet?
Have I
Oh.
seen any?
The conversation that you overheard them talking about was wanting to see maze dragons, which are giant sea serpents that haunt the broken coast of California.
Is the question, has my character seen them?
No,
Have they seen them?
Yes.
All right.
just to tie it a little bit farther back into what was
Yeah, and were they gonna ask my character about the rope?
that was what my question was.
I was about to do that.
I know.
Okay.
So as the dinner winds to a close, this is where I will use the tact result. As dinner winds to a close, Everett will mention, so I don't know how many issues ago it was, but there was a piece Cece, my sister Cece read to me, must have been a year or two ago at this point, in the epitaph. It had something to do with profane rituals or mysterious altars or something or the other. I can't fully remember it, but what I couldn't get out of my head were the symbols that your sketch artist included with the article.
You were just like the ones on this road.
So, I don't know if this is the correct place to pull on that thread, for lack of a better term. But do you remember that article?
There's a lot of articles that get published that require our sketch artists.
Dave, make me a common knowledge roll.
Morgan is also going to offer a sheet of notebook paper and a pencil. We're removing the paper from the notebook so that way nobody else sees what's in the notebook.
Yeah.
Common
And
knowledge.
offers for Everett to just, draw.
11.
Draw what they are.
Okay, apparently I remember the name of the article.
The Hidden Life of Paradise, Montana.
Okay, and as that is my colleague's work, I would probably know it.
Yes. So no, this is something
This
that
is
you
you
have.
wrote.
Oh, I wrote it.
Yes,
Yes.
this is the one about.
That's why we're asking you.
Okay, so so I wrote it. What do you want to know?
How much do you remember about that case? If someone were to hypothetically,
Bex is gonna look very closely at the runes that that are being drawn.
I'm not drawing any.
Ah.
If someone were to hypothetically find something that bore a striking resemblance to some of the things you described,
Say that.
Freaky fucking place to just camp out at night. And I like
I
it.
visibly make the decision to believe you that this is a hypothetical question.
I mean,
Visibly make that decision.
Visibly, but I do not verbally say this. It's like, all right.
What kind of idiot would bring this up?
All right. Because I don't have this knowledge, GM, what information do I have available to answer this question?
Roll me a cult plus 2.
Roll you an occult plus 2. Okay, so that's an 8, right? 8 and a d6. And then add 2 to it.
Yes.
Yep, to whichever one's better.
what was the name of the article?
So I've got a 9
The
off the d8.
Secret Life of Paradise, Montana.
There's a 9 off the d8.
9 off the 8. Okay.
Yes.
You do remember it. You remember a bit about how the town was secretly run by a cult. The cult leader was actually the mayor.
Okay.
A lot of the people in the town were recruited to this through various social programs. And they, anytime a drifter would come by, they would mysteriously disappear. That being said, the cult leader was eventually taken down, but in being taken down, he displayed some odd magical powers. Like some arcane abilities that
Beyond the
you've
mortal
seen before, but not in that flavor, per se.
I relay all of that.
And you were asking about symbols?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I mentioned that I said if someone found... Yeah, I had said the article that had the symbols on the sketches, and it really stuck in my mind. And then I said, if someone hypothetically found some objects that seemed mighty similar to those described in that article.
I'd be able to reproduce the pen and paper at this time.
You can try. That'll be performance.
Performance. What were you saying, Dave?
Yeah, no, that was the segue. Was if someone came across items that were remarkably similar to those described and depicted in that article, how much would you know about that, and how interested would you be to learn more?
Well, I'm always interested in learning more about anything.
So
I'm gonna roll this to privately just try starting to doodle,
Mhm.
and I'm not. I'll tell you what I want to show.
Okay.
Okay. Do I have to pretend that this is hypothetical still once someone slides copies of the symbols to me?
Well,
It's up to you.
Well, I haven't slid them yet.
This group is terrible about working together.
I'm just over here, kind of doodling on a napkin while you two are talking.
I mean, if you want to make a notice roll to see if
Extreme. I
Bart,
was about to say, I'm like extremely tempted to see if I'm like paying attention
Go
to
ahead.
Everett.
it's just like you're as Everett's talking, you're just
Yeah, because I have a D10 for notice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that.
So does the dog.
It has a D10.
finally
where-
someone who can.
Someone
has
as
perceptive
perceptive as
as
Shiksa.
Oh wait, I just put the D10 on 8 because I thought it was an 8. Ah,
No
was-
notice.
I did not notice. You're
Would you like to spend a penny on that?
If you
Oh,
would like
yeah.
to spend a penny, you can reroll it.
all right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right,
That's
I
what
got
it said.
Exploding 6.
All
Oh,
right.
that's
Raise.
8.
All right, you notice Bart. So as Everett is talking, you out
And
of the
getting
corner,
progressively cagier.
out of the corner of your
Yeah,
eye, you see Bart just like idly sketching on a napkin. The glyph that is coming from his pen is eerily similar to some of the glyphs that you saw depicted around the cult. It is not exactly the same. There are some minor differences here, an extra little twiggy bit there, but it is
My handwriting has serifs, so
it is
You
very
monster.
strangely similar. And
It
given
was just a
that,
hypothetical conversation, though. So I just
yeah, and given that
I let that add to the hypotheticalness of the conversation.
given that that glyph was very much not in the paper,
aha, great.
Well, no, because when we tried to print it, the ink caught
It
fire.
wasn't hypothetically.
Yep.
I would say
This
that
is why I write
some
the serifs.
of the higher up people in the epitaph just would not print it.
Yeah,
Not like that the ink caught fire, that they wouldn't let it even go to ink.
yeah.
Wow, I like that detail though.
It's like, it definitely didn't go to print in that form. So, I notice that, but I don't visibly react
Okay.
That's a
yet.
shame, because I do have a lie on deck for it, but
Well, that would be tipping my hand too soon.
exactly.
All right.
So I pay attention to Everett's story.
Yep.
About how this is purely a hypothetical.
Purely hypothetical.
Question.
Also, this cloak right here is a purely hypothetical.
Purely
Emperor's
hypothetical
new
object.
cloak.
Exactly.
This cloak doesn't
This
exist. It just might
hypothetical
exist. You know.
Hypothetical cloak.
Schrodinger's cloak.
Yes.
It may be
Schrodinger's
dead.
explosive cloak.
It's cloaked.
So, kind of, again, so to speak, pulling at this thread. What if those items were found here in Shamfan?
Well, it definitely would have implications.
Concerning ones or curious ones?
Concerning ones.
Concerning ones.
Oh, good. Oh, good. We should talk more. Somewhere more private. Lester, you should come.
Do they have a recent copy of my calling card?
They
We should have one.
they do.
Yes.
All right. Well, they know how to contact me because they have my card.
Yep. They also know exactly which room you're in.
They do.
Assuming that you haven't moved rooms.
Or got a new door.
I probably did have to pay to replace the door and go
Yeah.
to a different room.
Yep.
So you and I will probably have to talk about how much money I'm down from that.
Mm-hmm.
Or that was before you had me generate the character, so maybe that didn't come out.
Exactly. As intended.
Or so like I'm probably still staying in the same building and did pay for the repairs. And they probably also know, just because I don't make a secret of like who I am and what I'm doing in the mornings, but like in order to make some extra travel cash, I'm also making a pretty solid circuit around the tourist areas to take portraits.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a caricature drawer?
Yeah, but I also have like a lot of camera equipment.
So, would you consider the place you're staying free of prying ears?
You've
been there
The walls there are paper thin.
The walls are a little thin.
That might not be the best place for this conversation.
As it turns out, Morgan has semi-recently had some very good Bing Cha at a tea place that has private rooms.
Completely
Weirdly enough, Morgan felt
coincidentally.
like they were inhabiting a different body at the time. Whoa.
Having an
I don't think that actually that Bart had Bing Cha there.
It's in my inventory.
Bought some,
Okay.
but that's not what you had at the table.
Okay. I was having an out-of-body experience as well, so I mean, I don't have the details of this.
That was where I came in randomly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. And I
assume
would
that-
posit that the reason why Morgan had some very nice Bing Cha there is because they speak Cantonese.
Mm-hmm.
So, I assume a tea shop is probably not open at this hour.
We can probably have this discussion
Depends
later
on the
this
tea
week.
shop.
It does depend on the tea shop.
We've got some time until important things.
So the particular tea shop was recommended to Bart, this is meta knowledge, based on it being a tea shop to make connections at.
Yep.
So there's tea shops and then there's tea shops.
Mm-hmm.
This is the ladder.
I mean, it does have very good tea. It's just also a good place to go if you're, like, say, an international spy.
It's easier
Which
to
is
be
a trope in Chinese literature.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
So, like...
Casino Royale. There are dinner jackets, and there are dinner jackets, Mr. Bond. You'll find
Yeah.
that this is the ladder.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I would say the GM has to make a call as to whether or not that tea shop would take callers at any hour.
Again, Lester has other priorities before this.
I'll just turn Lester incorporeal again and send him in to unlock the door. What could go wrong? I doubt that building is a basement too.
Given your frequency there,
There's
they are
no
willing
one
to
within
make an
arm's
exception.
reach of you, sir.
Okay, so we could have a private room there.
So we could retire there. Lester, do you have plans the rest of this evening or not until tomorrow?
No, but I would like to have a different conversation before I have this conversation. One with my employer.
Your right.
Your employer or your employer?
I only have one employer.
The one we went shopping for chili for today?
Oh.
We do need to follow up on that.
We do need to
That
cook the
recipe
chili.
was excellent.
It was...
Quite the surprise.
Spexism.
Tune's back in.
I'm like restraining myself from prying.
Roll me
A willpower.
Yeah, exactly.
roll me a spirit roll.
Guess what? I didn't put a whole lot of points
Oh! That will come to bite you at some point.
What are your
Probably not
hindrances
today.
again?
in. What?
What are your hindrances again?
Curious.
No, you cannot.
It's not even a roll.
I do ask.
I love that curious is a hindrance.
Not
So-
only,
I really relate to this character. You know.
not only is variance not a hindrance, it's a major hindrance. So
Excellent.
yeah, no, you can.
So I'm going to ask, interesting employer you have that's having you go out for chili, acquire some chili for the household.
Well,
just
well, no, that was a. I started and then a coin flipped in the air.
I know, just like, but also I like the idea of Lester not expecting to be called on it, just like.
So,
Like I restrained myself from prying, but then I tried.
so that is a success.
Aw.
What is his
On
success?
what?
To whisper to JR. Is chili a metaphor or a euphemism?
Definitely taking the one.
Oh no!
I think it's a simile.
It's a simile.
Do I hear this?
You don't hear that.
Well,
Then you
make
hear
a note.
that.
Make a notice roll.
You're gonna have to beat my one success to not be noticed.
Yep.
Okay. At least I have a 10.
I'll also make. Oh.
Try. I explode the 10.
Explode the 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really have to.
Yeah.
It's a 14.
Yeah. No, you hear their
Everything.
conversation.
Boy, do I hope that you're trustworthy, because
I mean,
it's nothing.
I mean,
so
so
you
all right,
asked
what
me a
JR
question.
said,
Getting
everyone's
back
like, yeah,
to
of course
Lester.
he's
Yeah.
trustworthy.
As much as I want to answer that question, oh boy, do I want to answer that question. For your own safety, I don't think I should.
What are you talking about? They're great people. We just had chili. We played games. We freaking played mahjong with them.
You even won.
I won. You know.
So they already want to kill us.
In response
Is that
to
in
Bart's
character?
comment that he hopes that Morgan is trustworthy, I give, like, the full visible appearance of, like, you guys know where I am
Performance.
and are totally capable of killing me.
Just pointed
That's-
look at gun. Pointed look at gun. Just staring at Lester.
Unarmed
Yeah.
Looking
Good
at
play.
you.
I mean,
I
to be
mean,
fair,
yeah,
Lester's not
that's-
threatening until
So,
Lester
a
wants to.
a
That's one
performance
reason
roll,
Lester
if I
Marsh-
don't have that skill
What? No,
physically,
he's
is
he's
D4,
skinny and
correct?
kind of
D4 minus
lanky.
2.
D4 minus 2.
And the D6 as well.
And the D6. All right.
Always the D6.
Yes.
Everything's at -2, but things still explode.
Yeah, Dave. Lester is
The
5'5",
six
120
explodes.
pounds.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sure. I was going to say we're all heavily armed, and
All
some
right,
of us
so
are very large. I
that
wasn't
is-
sure if the number was 1 or 2 people.
Oh,
6 plus 5 minus 2, right?
So yeah, you succeed in getting that point across.
I mean, JR believed it already. That's
Yeah.
why, JR.
Well, I mean, now Bart knows that indeed you can easily kill them, and they are willing to keep your secrets because of previous threats.
By me.
Exactly.
And me.
And the fact that we know things we shouldn't is scary on its own.
On my honor, I really shouldn't tell you my employer.
I decide to let that one lie
Do we
for
know?
now.
Yeah.
No, we don't know exactly who the employer.
If I play the long
they're no
game,
gang.
this is going to come out.
Oh, we know. We know it's a criminal element. Anything more than that.
Yeah, but
In
Oh,
character,
no,
I do say we don't even
I
actually
do
know the specifics.
I actually do know who it is.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Because
Yeah.
JR put together that we were at the same
Oh,
place.
that's right. JR is the only one who's put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, well, JR has more information than the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
And never gives it out.
Somehow.
You two are the
Not
same
somehow, on purpose.
player.
Yeah, no, it's
So what Dave is saying is you deserve this.
I do.
Okay. I've checked on that previously in this campaign.
Yep.
It's just nice to know it's still true.
All right. what
I'm
was the
sorry that
question?
this has been happening.
Oh no, I deserve it.
So, some of this came up because I asked about.
Yeah.
I forget the name. Employer?
Lester.
Lester's employer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That we got chili for.
Yeah, we got
That
chili
you guys
for
got
And
chili
it's a
for.
simile.
It's not.
No.
It's more not a simile.
Oh,
than
no,
it's
the
not
question
everything
is
else.
whether
No,
it's
no,
a
no.
simile, a metaphor, or a
No, I asked
Yeah.
if it was a metaphor or a euphemism.
it. JR was like, no,
No,
no.
guys, it's a hyperbole.
Thank you for the correct pronunciation.
The epitome of hyperbole.
Hey, she writes for that.
I do write for them.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so is there anything else people wanted to discuss with Morgan?
Well, if we have
Unless-
to go...
At
if
the
Lester has,
dinner.
no, I was going to say, if Lester has to speak with his employer this evening, then we should meet for tea
I didn't even know if it would be this evening.
I don't think we're required to meet with him this evening.
Oh, you just want to
Yeah,
speak
I was
to...
gonna have that be part of my downtime activity.
You just want to speak to the employer before we speak about...
Yeah.
Is this so they contact you or you're going to go to them?
Well, I'm probably just gonna go to where I met them last time. They'll at least have someone I could contact.
Okay. So let's set a meeting for in 2 days.
Yeah.
I write it down in my pocketbook.
All right. So you have that written down in your pocketbook.
I crumple and pocket the napkin I was noodling on.
All right. Anything else anyone want to do before we wrap up this scene?
Another drink, please.
So, leaving the building, I do have something. I'm not going to say
I gotta
in
take
the
one for the
restaurant.
Okay.
What did you say?
Are
Yeah, take one for
you?
the road.
Am I still with them for that?
Nothing like a road soda.
Will you discuss?
Do you
this?
want to try to tail us?
Oh, do I try and tell them?
Do you want to say anything to the people in the restaurant after we leave, but before you leave?
Well,
So
they
that would
might
be-
leave, and then I settle the account while they're
How much
leaving.
money do you have?
I have like $500.
Cool. That'll be $30 out.
Okay.
Woo.
It's very expensive.
Lester was not slow on the alcohol.
No.
I knew that I was going to need to shop for my gear and reserve as much money as possible, and I feel entirely justified in that
Yeah,
right
yes.
now.
I mean, these people have the luck of getting a monster's worth of, let's be honest, a fucking dragon's worth of gold.
Mhm.
Yup.
So yeah, no, leaving the place. Won't do that. I thought you said that you knew that those were the people that took my property.
Property.
What?
That they weren't. I'm assuming.
Was I the one who lied about that?
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
this one.
I genuinely believe it. Everett genuinely believes it.
And so they just so happened to be someone that Mr. Lester's employers needed to have visited?
Well, now that you mention it, I think they're the ones who told us that's who stole your property.
I mean, they're both criminals, so, like, maybe?
Well, that's why I believed it.
All the criminals know each other.
Make me a stealth roll.
Me?
Yes.
Am I tailing them?
Are
Do you
you?
want to?
Have you thought about it? Thought better about it because of the last time?
Actually,
Or not?
I'm gonna have to play the hindrance here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So I was not I was doing some arithmetic, so I don't even know if they were talking about me.
No, we were
no.
talking about Lester's employer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they
Okay, so
are
stealth
leaving.
What was the first thing you said? I didn't
2d6.
hear it.
That you had said that these were the people that had stolen my property.
Yes.
All right. Well, I got a 7.
It
Okay.
Probably. Okay.
Does anyone want to make a notice roll?
I choose to fail.
Sure.
I choose to fail.
I fail.
I succeed. Or rather, I get a 4.
We get a 4.
Yeah.
I had a 7.
Then I fail.
I had 2d6.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's a 6.
Kaboom. That's
8.
8 with a raise.
So
Oh yeah,
you see
It's one success for Shuksa.
you see Morgan kind of sauntering off, like a couple people down, but definitely apparently going in the same way, same direction as you. Their hotel is in this direction, but
Okay.
they aren't keeping their eye on.
My nose
anyone
is
other-
definitely in my book.
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna argue
more sassy than I
Shuksa
was aiming
notices, but doesn't care.
No.
Morgan
Exactly.
pulls the book
I
up
mean,
in front of her. There's a hole
she
in it.
kind of looks behind her.
The newspaper with the eye holes cut out.
and turns back.
I'm
She
just
also just does
holding
that.
it like this,
Yeah,
you know. I'm not
you know.
blocking my view.
You're still walking.
I'm still walking. I'm walking here.
We're not in New York.
No, we're not.
Or York knew.
It really does want to get away, doesn't it?
It does. Always does.
So, I mean, at this point, I wouldn't even be going anywhere. Like, I would be getting ready for downtime activities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, going
Back to
You
back
know,
home.
home. The
Back
hotel we're
home
staying
again
at.
to downtime.
So, is there anything else you guys want to discuss? Specs, conversation.
Specs
going
is
here?
fine.
On the
Space.
street,
No.
let's keep our voices down.
I have said nothing incriminating.
I double checked.
I forget, what is it? Was it me walking down the street saying, I've killed a man?
I mean, that's probably been said at least once.
I
The
mean,
Civil War recently happened.
Yeah.
also,
That's
we've
not
definitely,
that noteworthy.
we've definitely had a man
It's the
walking
best.
down the street going, does anyone know where the black market is?
You know,
I'd
the
like to
epitome of
purchase
subtlety.
some illegal weapons.
So,
I
I'm
still
gonna-
stand by
I'm gonna wait
that
back.
action.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
100%.
use elemental manipulation to just go and burn the napkin.
okay.
Should have ascertained what die that is first. Nope, that fails. How about that?
Wait, so you're trying to burn that napkin.
Yes.
Yeah.
With no lighter.
You don't know that. Sorry, I didn't have a bad hand off there.
Would there be consequences for burning an occult symbol?
Well, remember I didn't draw it right?
Well, I didn't say that you didn't draw it right.
Damn it. I read with serifs. We discussed this.
Yes, it also could be that it was a different.
Ah, it just
root
made it into
symbol.
a different rune.
Good question.
Oh my god.
Thanks for that.
High or low?
You're fine.
That one
Teacher,
is
didn't
fine.
we have
Okay.
homework?
Exactly.
I would not have made it a 50-50, but yeah.
Who said it was?
Somebody who said high-low.
But
Yeah.
that was after I'd rolled. All right, so
Go ahead.
nothing bad happens when you burn it.
Nothing that happens when.
Yeah, right.
Also,
All right. So, what do we want to go into downtime, or is there something else people would like to do?
Are we going to abstract Lester meeting with their employers to get the information about JR's friend?
I was going
Or
to
are
abstract the week, yes.
Okay. Then no, nothing.
I mean, that wasn't what I was asking to get paid for. But I'll probably just be like, oh, hey, by the way, do you know this person
Yeah,
that
that
we're
was
looking
that
for?
was what you got.
No,
asked.
I was looking for stuff on the tower.
That is weird.
Yes.
though.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
It is.
Same
Or
people,
were
same.
you looking for something else?
I guess I'm confused as to what you're referring to when you say your property's been
You
stolen.
got pickpocketed.
I got
Yeah, that's what I
pickpocketed,
thought.
Yeah,
That has to do with the tower?
No, it's got nothing to do with the
It
tower.
was how they
we
got
lied.
specs
We
to
lied
join.
to specs.
yeah. No, this is
Yes, okay.
This keeps happening.
So I was going to be making
JR
note of
is a
that,
bad
and when I was
friend.
getting the information about the tower
Mhm.
for the
Send
payment,
some
I was going to
hostility
be like,
for
by
these
the way,
thieves
do you
and
know this
murderers."
person we're looking for them because they've slighted us?
Okay. So, what we're going to do,
Right.
does anyone else want to do anything specific?
For downtime?
Yes.
I need to make some hats.
Okay.
Yes, because I got new powers. I need to
Uh-huh.
use stuff for that.
I want to ask Specs about the knife, hoping that maybe she tells me about the book that I don't know about.
Okay.
Oh, and I need to do my research.
JR is honestly probably just exploring the city.
Morgan. Sorry. You have... So, something new falls into your lap.
Oh.
Quite
Literally?
Yeah, you're
Kind
at your
of.
desk and it falls into your lap.
Like, you have a series of informants throughout the city.
Uh-huh.
There has recently been a hash of disappearances, and there is a name that stands out as a common amongst them, being George Caldwell.
Oh.
Aha, a thread!
I started you folder.
Okay. All right. So we will start with Lester and then work our way counterclockwise.
Sure.
All right. So starting with you.
Yep.
So
Broad daylight.
going into the slums in broad daylight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So as you enter the slums, the hungry people around you seem they notice you again. They aren't quite ready to come for you, but you definitely feel their eyes on you as you enter.
Yeah.
As you get to the building where they previously were, there is a different man outside. Once again, he is dressed up to look like one of the emaciated individuals.
He's just wearing it, but he's like buff. He's just wearing rags, but he's buff.
Not quite as obvious.
So hungry.
Not quite as obvious, but yes. So, as you get close, he knocks on the door, whispers in, and you're let in.
Perfect.
I trust that it was successful.
Jingle jangle.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure you would have heard the news by now.
Oh, we have. No survivors.
I don't think so.
Hopefully that is enough to deter them from any future action. As promised, here is the information we have on the tower. She gestures to someone on the side and they hand you a folder.
Indeed. I hear there's a party going down at the end of the week, too.
Yes, there are. Yes, there is, and
I was wondering.
quite a lot of the city's elite will be there. Some interesting individuals, to be sure.
Well, I've been looking for an invite to that place.
We would require certain promises to be kept if you were to join us.
I think I could do promises.
Okay, good. I like a person who can follow orders. Maybe there's a future for you in this city.
I like the sound of that.
We will contact you later in the week. I trust that you have, looks you up and down, adequate attire for such a party.
Oh, don't worry.
I'll be there with bells on.
A+.
And scene.
Yes, and see.
Well,
Hey, you're welcome.
I would also be like, oh wait, before I walk out, I'm looking for X person that has slighted a friend of mine.
Hey, good on you.
Oh no!
That's what we said right before we burned down their organization.
Yeah, this is gonna go great.
Revenge for Specs. Justice for Specs.
Oh. Well, I assume that she made herself a target in our territory.
Seems like she slighted more than just us.
Oh, she has. And in a show of good faith, we will return as much money from her as we can.
Thank you. That's more than I expected.
Good day.
Yes.
All right, on to Morgan.
So, I would have organized my notes from the dinner. I've
As
got.
organized as possible.
How often does the epitaph print again?
Either weekly or monthly.
I think it's monthly.
Monthly. Okay.
Yeah, but like, with the way Morgan works, they're constantly producing stuff, and it just goes to print whenever the next one is.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what we would
Also, if
expect.
they produce for like multiple publications, then they could always be working on something.
Yeah. Like Morgan, it usually has at least 5 different projects.
This is more. I'm trying to figure out when this is going to hit the broadsheets.
Probably not soon.
No, probably not soon.
Is that a euphemism?
No.
Hitting
That's
the
similar.
broadsheets?
I mean, if did you guys tell me any tales about sheets that you were in?
No.
Well, you see, there was this broad.
Thank you.
But
There was some broad sheets out there.
That was a long night of hitting the broadsheets, I'll tell you that.
and that's
I mean,
a pun.
Lester was definitely 3 broad.
That was
sheets
a
to the
pun.
Oh yeah.
So I've organized my notes from that. I've heard about George Caldwell. I'm gonna work on some of my other, like, this is what life is like in the West, like puff pieces, and then I've got like a couple of like research projects that I'm working on for people about, like, I've got like a botany publication that I like.
Hayes Botany doesn't.
Yeah, like,
That's a YouTube channel, by the way.
oh
yeah, it's a
that
great
YouTube
YouTube
channel
channel.
so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look it up.
So like there's also like a couple of ghostwriting projects, including like one about some botany out in the West.
Yeah.
So like I'm going around doing that. I've also got like my little portrait side hustle to like have some consistent income while I
Make me a performance roll.
All right. So that is the D4 minus 2, right?
Because you don't have performance.
Because I don't have performance specifically.
Does anyone still have wounds?
I don't think so.
Not anymore.
Takes bite of bacon. No.
Well, we're doing downtime.
All right. So I have a 3 and a 5.
It's
Okay.
5 hits.
Yeah.
No, minus 2.
Oh,
because
minus
she's
2.
unskilled.
Never mind.
Okay.
So that's 2
3.
So
2 threes.
your portrait work doesn't really make all that much money. You make money back on it. You aren't down money.
I'm literally just making enough money to pay for more film and give people souvenirs.
No, that's what you are doing. If you'd rolled better, you would have made additional money.
Nice.
But you didn't roll well enough to get the right clients.
Target profit.
Yeah. And so, is there anything else you would like to do? Any rolls you would like to make on?
I don't know enough
Okay.
about anything to know what I would do.
Would you perhaps want to make a research roll into looking into the disappearances?
Sure. Yes. All right.
Dig
So
out your
that
old notes on the cult. Tanner.
So that is that going to be a research or an occult roll?
That would be. I'm going to give it. So the disappearances is going to be a research roll.
Okay. So
To your knowledge, there is no connection between the cult and these disappearances.
Okay.
In fact, you don't know that there is a cult. There's only hypothetically a cult.
Which I've agreed politely to let the fiction lie, but I'm pretty sure I don't.
Oh no, you understand.
Okay, so research. That is gonna be... I think that's a D8.
Yep. And you are going to get a +2 for your
Okay.
edge.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so I got a 4 and a 1. So
Would
that
you
makes
like to
it
reroll
6.
it? You have bennies.
I do. Alright, I'm gonna
Bennies
reroll.
are replenished at the beginning of every session.
Alright.
And we get them for Gil thinking that what we're doing is fun.
You get them
or a
certainly for
character.
spending them.
Yeah, true.
The second time was not better.
Okay, so you want to...
Aw.
So I'm
Do
going
you
to...
get +2? Or
Yes.
what was it?
Yeah, but even with the +2, the second time was not better.
Okay, so
You can take the
That's
first.
there
dice.
are not many connections that you can find. For some reason, there is a... All of the people who have disappeared with this George Caldwell character, they're all from a very similar neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
That is the only connections that you can find. They are all small business owners and in the same neighborhood.
Would she find the person who's alive?
No.
Okay.
Lester's body.
I
Yeah.
think...
Yes.
I love that you
Does,
phrased
does
it
it
that way.
then make
So
sense
funny.
to, on some of the time that I just spend taking portraits, also try and get like, oh hey, do you want a photo of yourself in your shop in that neighborhood?
Make me a persuasion roll.
Alright.
So, like, you're going to these people and being like, hey, can I get a picture of you?
In your shop, yeah. And I'll just like give you a copy of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so that is a D8. And I get to re-roll it without that any if I want to. Both of them
mean-
exploded.
Yeah, pick one and roll it.
Alright.
Are they both 6s?
They were
It
both
was a
at
D8
top.
and a 6, but they both
Yeah.
hit max.
So,
Alright,
do the
so
D8.
the D8, so it was 11
total.
11 total?
Yeah.
So, yes, you managed to go to those places, you get pictures of them. While you're in the area, you notice some interesting signs. There are fences up that have the term CNC Industries on them, and they are surrounding these businesses.
Interesting.
Not suspicious at all.
I put that in my notebook.
Okay.
The gnomes are moving.
They've crossed dimensions again.
All right.
Hi.
Specs.
Let's see here.
Nuclear
So,
projectiles, though.
They
So
do make
when-
good projectiles.
when you go
Stack
to
well,
bed
too,
tonight,
I understand.
yeah.
you're accosted by visions of your past. The shambling creatures that you met in the valley.
Mm-hmm.
You, weirdly enough, see how they could be improved. They weren't perfect. There was always something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You have a feeling you could do better.
I do. So, new powers actually gives you 2 new powers, or you can change the trappings of one.
Mm-hmm.
I would also like to make an alteration to the thinking horn.
Okay.
I want to make it telescoping.
Alright, what's that do?
So I can compress it down to like a disc.
Okay. Easier to carry.
Much easier to carry, much easier to whip out at a moment's notice.
Alright. I like that. Okay.
So doing that, so let's see here. So I'm going to begin the research for making my new device,
Mm-hmm.
which will be 2 paddles, basically. One which will go at the nape of the neck, and one which will go over the heart.
Mm-hmm. You using that good old technology that you stumbled upon when reviving.
You invented to defibrillate
Yes.
Everett. We forgot to tell you about that, didn't we?
No.
Everett.
No, we thought they were asking us about Portland.
Oh, that's right. Never
Yep.
came out.
So, okay.
Never came out.
So make me a research and weird science.
Tim, do you know about that?
What?
Everett had a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I failed
Oh
the
wait,
fear-
no.
I
No,
failed
I
a
never
fear
came
check
up
and
for
had a
you.
heart attack.
What?
I don't think it ever came up for you.
I know about it personally, but not for the character.
Yeah.
That was out of character, personally.
Oh, nice. Both 6s. Cool.
But one
Let's
of them
see here.
explodes.
What is the
7.
purpose of this device, or is it a surprise?
We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, no, you.
Here, put this up.
We now have a new device.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
So you. Do you have any of your old master's notes?
yes.
Alright. Reluctantly, you dig into those.
Mm-hmm.
You work on some of his more unsavory designs and adapt them for your own use.
Indeed.
Assuming you're done.
Yes, thank you.
So that will be probably like 2 days worth of work.
Okay.
There
It's
is
crispy.
also, I'm going to go out and buy alchemical ingredients.
Alright.
So another 4 rounds, so $20 worth.
Okay.
So just going to pay for that at various shops. So 5 more, so 5 total rounds of alchemical goodness. And we'll probably make some right before the party, but we'll figure out what we want then. And also, I would like to make a set of holsters. Specifically what the words for being able to be worn without obviously showing anything under a long dress.
Okay.
And I have no idea if we make a roll for that, if that's something I can just say we do.
I'm gonna have you make a roll for it.
Alright, so this is to hold both the telescoping, thinking horn, the paddles, and small vials, and a knife.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say that would be a science roll.
Science roll. Sweet. 11.
11? Yes, you succeed.
Got your
bad
bad roll out of the way early tonight.
Yeah.
So the way that you set it up, yeah, no, they are undistinguishable under a dress.
Beautiful.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Get my dress,
Okay.
try it on, and wear it and twirl around in it without anyone noticing, and then take it out.
What's your dress?
You
like?
succeed.
Sky/powder blue with gold trimming of a golden hair, 3 golden hairs interwoven between a fiddle, a trumpet, and a flute.
Ooh.
Everett,
Yep.
what would you like to do?
We got some hats to make, a
Mhm.
suit to collect.
Roll me job hat making.
Yeah.
Man's good at hats.
Man's good at
That would
hats.
be a 15.
All right, you churn out.
It's so close.
It is.
It is.
So close to 16.
Can I now declare that I'm gonna assist him?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Next time I will. Get you over the threshold. Another pair of hands goes a long way. Although,
Slap.
do I know to wear gloves?
I don't know. Do you? Probably not.
Probably not.
So the hats that you make are by far the best quality that you've made since you've left. You are proud of these hats. The components that you've used, you've managed to, I would say, $10 worth of components.
Okay.
Because the quality of the leather, the quality of the felt, the quality of the materials are high enough that your dad would be proud.
That's why he willed the shop to me.
Exactly. But now you actually feel like it.
Oh no. The whole arc of this was supposed to be me learning to accept responsibility.
Is there anything else?
Shit,
you'd
it's
like to-
happening.
It's happening too soon.
Man's good at hats.
Well, we're saying that I purchased and then used components, then I probably still have some for hat making on the road, so I don't need to do the shopping, or we're just including the shopping.
Yeah.
Probably do the deal with the hats to get my suit.
Okay.
Other than that, probably just like hang out with my dog.
All right. Yeah, no, the deal goes off. You rolled high enough. The deal goes off. You manage to trade these hats for.
Good when you're done.
You trade these hats for your suit. It's a beautiful suit. Like, you can't wait to wear it.
One other thing that I'd want to do before the party is get a matching hat
Okay.
for my suit.
Jared's hat is not going to match.
Did I roll well enough that was one of the hats I made?
I'm gonna have to do a second roll.
I was gonna say because it doesn't need to be from you, but it's going to be at the shop. Like I'm gonna go back to the shop because they know the design of the suit, so I need to get a matching hat.
I mean, Jared,
One success?
It matches.
With bells on.
It's not your best, but it matches.
It's like solid. It's
Yeah.
at least as good as you get in the store.
And it has some bells.
Jingle jingle.
Okay.
No, not it isn't jingle jangle. It's jingle jingle.
It's just jingle.
I mean, you can always bring it home and then have Everett make it
And
more
then just
jingly.
through the wall, Everett hears kook, kook, and he just goes, no!
You're gonna throw off the balance.
Bart.
So this is going to be my research roll to follow up on my brief recognition of the markings on the cloak.
Okay.
And then, after I do my research, I'm going to, depending on how it goes, I'm considering showing the cloak to Specs and asking if she has any insight to share.
All right. So research roll.
And I get a bonus to this because I'm an investigator?
Yes.
Yeah. So this will be D8 plus 2.
Correct.
Hey Gil, can you also
What
tell
was
me
the
what the name
situation?
of the song is?
The origin or purpose of the
The
markings.
Big Gun Down by the Hellbenders.
Okay, no, it's not what I thought it
For
was.
the origin or purpose of the markings of the cloak.
Okay.
I wasn't that specific when I was talking to you. I'm going to Benny this. That was a 4. It was a single success, but
And you can take whichever of the two rolls you
plus
want.
2. Exactly.
Like taking the first one.
Like
Yeah, take the
one,
first
for
one.
instance.
All right. So
Yeah.
The pattern definitely is similar, like strikingly similar to this stuff that you have found in your research. You can't find the reason for it, except for that a lot of cults that have been springing up have very similar markings. All of them appear to have a singular marking that is strikingly similar on all of them, but with minor variations on it.
Okay. All right.
Do cults have denominations?
I mean, yeah, that's what they are.
They are, yes, a denomination unto themselves. That's the idea of a cult. But yes, so now I would go as Specs to see the knife again. Do you mind if I see the knife again?
I got right here. It's really made for just murdering.
Can I notice to see if I notice the book on the shelf? What is that? Where did that
Where
come from?
where are you keeping the book?
Oh, it's in my pack.
I thought you said you put it on a shelf.
No,
next to the
no,
Merchant
it's in-
of Venice.
It's in my pack next to my Merchant of Venice
Got it.
copy.
Roll me a
Like, we can talk.
I don't know you have it though.
No, that's fine, but we can still talk about, like, cults and shit.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. So honestly, I will bring the cloak and I'll be like, can I see the knife? Because I found there's this symbol and it's it seems like it's pretty consistent across a bunch of stuff, but I can't really make heads or tails of this specifically. Maybe the knife, or did you see anything?
This is the knife. It's made for murdering. This is.
Sure
but
is.
you said that it might be for a cult.
Yeah. It definitely has. I would say that it looks like it would have ritual purpose.
So, like
me.
the knife in the book that Mr. Lester had.
Book?
The book. Oh,
He didn't show me.
I go over
May I
to my
see
pack.
it?
And pull it out.
Fantastic.
That thick with pigskin.
It's yeah,
It's a whole
Smells delicious.
Pigskin.
Now.
Oof.
pigskin. We're gonna call it that.
longer pig.
The longest pig.
Oh no.
Slender Man.
No.
The Slender Man.
Slender pig?
Slander pig.
Now we've jumped
A slander pig?
We've jumped the tracks too many times. Can I common knowledge this to
All we have to do is keep jumping
What-
the tracks
what
until
do
we
you
land on another
What
set
would
of
common
tracks.
Yeah.
knowledge do?
materials, age?
If we don't have brakes, we might
Okay,
as well see
yeah.
if we can't get to another set of tracks.
comparative
If we stop
markings.
mid-jump, we
Okay.
crash. If we make it to another
And
set of tracks
also
before
language.
we crash, we're fine.
Language.
Yeah,
Like the
perfect
language
plan.
inside?
Yeah, not to understand it, but to recognize it.
Okay.
Because I only speak English. I only read in English,
Mhm.
so I'm not trying to
I get it.
make me. Yeah. That's a 6 on the. I don't get to +2 on this as well, do I? For
Just make your best
investigation?
effort at reading random passages in Latin. What could go wrong?
out loud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll take 1 success on this.
All right. So, it's definitely a handmade book.
Yep.
With your knowledge as a book dealer, you can tell that this is not a professional's work. While it is bound in leather and is lovingly upkept, it wasn't a professional who did it.
Right.
So there's also
Who made the leather or bound the book?
who bound the book.
Okay.
And honestly, the leather, it's cracking in places,
Uh huh.
but there's also
I'd have encountered vellum and leather bound
Yes.
before.
yeah.
Okay. So the question really is, what type of leather is this that I would like to have an answer to out of this roll if possible?
Okay. Yeah, you can't tell.
Yep.
Not with a single success.
But also the fact that I don't necessarily recognize it as itself
Yeah.
information.
You know who could probably tell but can't communicate to us?
All right. Is there
Yep.
anything else you'd like to do?
Spice, do you mind if I hold on to this?
Honestly, I think that's fine with me.
I appreciate it. It'll get lost in a bunch of other books. I'll know where it is. Don't worry, but it won't. Will not be stolen from us.
Yep, I'm not too keen on keeping it close.
It is the kind of it's the kind of thing that has its own weight to it. So I'm happy to take it off your hands. Oof. Is it? One more question. I'm sorry,
Okay.
guys. In the rest of my free time, I would go through and I would look at everything in it. Is it all not intelligible to me with my current?
Yes, it
abilities?
is weird passages with odd phrasing.
Pictures, illustrations.
Yes, there are some very odd, like, there are points of it where it seems like some instruction manual, symbols, how to set them out, how properly to write them, like very specific strokes, which one you do first.
Okay.
It
Almost
definitely-
calligraphy.
Yes,
Tutorial.
it definitely calls for specific liquids for each different one. Not all of it blood.
Good.
There are some special, like, some plants that need to be burnt and written on them. Effluence is another one. Just a bunch of seemingly profane materials.
Comparing the cloak to the book. Any matches in We said we didn't recognize language on the cloak, so that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
There were
There,
runes and
yes,
there's
there
how
are.
to-
There, in the back of the book, kind of seared into the back, into the leather, is the symbol.
Okay. Yeah. The common.
Yeah.
Okay.
The version on the cloak.
But in that, yeah. Okay. And if I wanted, if could I make an understand Latin at a D4 -2 roll? Not right
I
now,
misspoke.
but-
There is no Latin in the book.
Okay.
There's only English.
Yes.
Oh right.
Yep, because I can read it as well.
I thought you said the title page was in Latin, but everything else was in English.
We thought the cover
I
was, but there was nothing
misunderstood.
on the
I thought
cover.
it was
There
all-
is no. Sorry. There is nothing on the title page. There is no
There's
title.
the cover.
No,
There is nothing on the
blank
cover.
cover.
Blank cover and everything.
It is
Yeah.
very
The initial
much
thought
a-
was, yeah, there might be some, but
Mhm.
Okay, I misunderstood that as well. Cool.
You good?
Yes.
So JR is finding that the more time he's spending in this city, the more it's bringing up painful memories of after his mom died, when he ended up with the Salish,
Mm-hmm.
and
So we finally discover why he talks in Salish all the time.
and you know, his painful memory. The painful memories of his mom dying and ending up homeless and then finding his way to the Salish and kind of working for his keep there and getting used to a different place. And boy, does JR not deal with bad memories well, so he's gonna go just gambling the whole week.
Okay.
Hot
Make me a
damn.
common knowledge roll.
Common knowledge. Come on.
phenomenal.
What you look for?
We're at the end of the session.
Yeah. Here's Benny.
My. Here, you can have that.
Of course.
No.
Failure.
Failure on both?
Yeah.
Alright, well, you get lost. You are
I pick a direction.
you are unable to find really any sort of reputable gambling.
Good.
The stakes are going to be a lot higher.
Cool.
Make me a gambling roll.
All right.
Does anybody here gamble?
Black market gambling?
I'm looking,
Where's the best gambling den?
looking for a speakeasy casino type place.
5.
5?
Maybe with some opium?
No, I don't.
A
There's
den,
not-
if you will. So you got a 5?
Yeah.
How do you do, fellow gamblers?
You do well. So we're going to do this 2 days, 2 days,
Yeah.
2 days. So first day, you got a 5?
Yeah.
You make a profit.
All right. 7.
Again, you make a profit, but the margin is less. So
All right.
let's try that last one.
I want to roll again. We're still
Gotta
at this-
gamble. What? I re-roll that?
What the fuck?
How did you even
How
do
did
that?
What happened?
Hang on.
How?
How?
Oh my gosh.
It's
That's
on the
hilarious.
beveled edge.
It's on the beveled edge.
Oh.
That's amazing. Huh.
Do you get to take the higher of the two?
No.
You do get to take the higher of the two rolls.
No,
Right.
higher than 2 rolls.
It's balanced on the
The 4 and the 6.
Yeah, so the
Well, if we hit the table, it's a 6.
it's a 6.
Re-roll.
I think the fact that it landed on the beveled edge does mean that he doesn't lose at all.
So that was a
You
roll.
take-
Yeah.
You can take the
So
first roll.
it's gonna be 6.
6?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this last day, it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
You
I've
lose-
drawn attention.
Yeah, you lose what little
Winning.
winnings you had previously.
Okay.
So You walk away without.
Which, you know, is pretty good.
You walk away breaking even.
Totally not a problematic habit.
No, absolutely not. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, you're a good enough gambler from the sound of it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, wait a minute. I take a free reroll on that.
Oh, hang on.
Okay, I'm going to reload. Reroll.
Okay.
Oh.
That's worse.
That's worse.
Alright, so with that, I think we'll break for the night.
Yes.
I agree. Next time, the party.
Yeah, because I have a.
Well,
We got to
first
the party.
talking with you, then the party.
Yes.
Well, I
Have
forgot.
that chat.
Like, I didn't